first song. Ladies and gentlemen, light it up, Lydia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 USA Powerlifting National Championships here in Atlanta, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a round of applause for all the powerlifters. This is powerlifting. It's a blood sport. If you want blood, you got it. The bars are all loaded. Here we go. Lois on 1, Claudia on 2. Anna Leonard on 3. Haley Jane on 4. Platform 1 for Lois. The lift is not good. She did not squat low enough. Here comes Susan Walter. Good lift on platform 3. Tammy Remsburg, platform 2. Come on, Tammy. The bar's ready for Susan Walter. Platform 1, she's in her 70s. Let's go, Tammy. And a good lift on platform 4.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of the USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. Here, lifting has already started underway.
I believe we're on the third lifter now, Michelle Mo, starting with 105 kilos on platform 1.
And here on platform 2, also starting on the first lifter here, Claudia at 19.
Michelle failed her first attempt with 2 red lights, so it's probably a depth infraction.
And here, another mixture, we have Jamie taking 140 for her opener on platform 2.
In platform 1, we have Jennifer with 115 keys on the bar.
Quite a big jump here in the openers for platform 2, going from 120 keys. And we have 150 keys to cap out this flight on platform 2.
And Jennifer hitting her opener on platform 1. These are some big weights that these lifters are squatting today.
Yeah. And now it looks like there, Jamie hits her opener at 140.
Suzanne next on platform 1.
Now the opener on squat, typically one of those nerve-wracking lifts, I would say, first lift of the day. Doesn't necessarily make or break the meet, but definitely want to open up the tone.
Yes, exactly. Get the nerves out.
Yeah.
You see the crowd, and then once you hit that first squat, you get going.
For those of you who might not be attending the venue this weekend, the environment here is electric. Friday morning.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. 142 on the bar for Tiffany.
And Lacey with 125 keys.
Just some really heavy openers for our 62s, 65s.
Lacey hitting her opener. Brenna next up with 130.
At 3 whites for Tiffany there. All good on her lift. We already see some second attempts rolling in. And some of our lifters here deciding to take big jumps here, obviously. As we are beginning to cap out our flight here on platform 2.
That is a pretty quick flight. And Brenna with 130 on the bar.
Once again, shout out to our sponsors, Lotus here for volunteering and taking their time to help the event as well.
It's a long way.
And it seems like there's a hold up on platform 1.
And Lena there gets a good lift. Remember, you only need 2 white lights for it to be a good lift. 2 out of 3. And we are ending our flight here. Iris taking 150 as well for her opener. This is a huge opener.
Brenna missing her first attempt. So in your experience, when you miss your first attempt, do you usually retake it or do you go up?
I believe that's dependent on the lifter and the coach, obviously. I think if it's a confidence thing, sometimes it might be worth jumping to the second.
330 pounds for Iris. 3 white lights.
Well, platform 2 has finished their flight and Iris has hit her opener. Melissa on platform 1 with 130 keys.
Tammy here taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 95.
Melissa hits her opener. On to Aaron with 135.
To answer your question, Eric, looking ahead on some of these second attempts here on people who've missed their opener, you can see some confident lifters here for sure. I think
I mean, these are Raw Nats competitors.
these are the best of the best, obviously.
They're dogs out there.
And you can see Tammy getting ready to take 95. Still waiting on platform 1 to wrap up.
But platform 2, Tammy hits her second attempt. Let's see where she goes up to.
Claudia here getting ready with 97.5 keys, taking a 10 kilo jump.
Erin hitting her opener on platform 1. Catherine up next on platform 1.
On platform 2, we have Ann getting ready as well. And missed her opener, but getting ready to take a 5 kilo jump to 105 kilos there. I believe 232 pounds.
Well, Catherine hitting her opener. Now we're on to our second attempts on the first platform.
Those are some fast moving fights. Definitely.
Lois with her second attempt. She's moving up 5 kilos to 47.5.
Now, Eric, from what you've seen, what do you think are some of the jumps that lifters might take between attempts? What do you think that varies?
I really do think it varies from person to person. Right now, it looks like some of these lifters are still going pretty conservative with their jumps.
Right. Jamie there is up next as Ann hits her second on the board.
But a lot of it is definitely strategic, I think. Lois fails her second attempt on squat.
Lois missing her first and second attempt. Has to secure her third here, or else the powerlifting competitions, you have to register at least one successful attempt in each of the total count. So really banking on Lois.
Susan up next.
Is up next.
57.5 kilos.
Yeah, you can see here some pretty big range of jumps here between attempts.
3 white lights for Susan. Michelle retaking her first attempt. Let's see how this goes.
12.5 kilo jump to her second. Excited to see what she has in store. She gets a good lift there.
2 white lights.
Now, this Raw Nationals, fun fact, the first one was held in 2008. This is the 17th occurrence of the event. And we have almost 900 lifters here competing over the weekend. Just crazy.
That is crazy. I don't think I've ever been in a meet where there's been even more than just, yeah.
And, you know, this wouldn't be possible without our sponsors for the event. A7, one of the largest sponsors of the event here. If you're on the menu, be sure to check out their booth. Supporting all our athletes again here.
Oh, I definitely will. I'm really cold, so I might buy a jacket later. Suzanne up next on platform 1, going for 122.5 kilos.
Tiffany getting ready for 152.5 on platform 2.
Suzanne with three white lights. Up next, Jennifer with 125 kilos. And I think the conversion for 125 is 275, so we're getting up to some big weight for this weight class. $10 jump is, I'd say it's pretty big. Three white lights for Jennifer. Up next, we have Brenna for her second attempt. 135 kilos. About 297 pounds. We're slowly creeping up to 300 pounds.
And here we have Iris capping off our second attempt here on platform 2 with 160, our heaviest squat we've seen so far. But it's about 352 pounds, if my mental kilo math checks out. Some really heavy squats here, and so far platform 2 has been pretty spot on. Only one miss so far.
That's pretty rare to see.
Pretty rare to see, yeah. Our lifters here executing at the highest level as they are expected to, and of course.
Brenna with 2 red lights.
And
Lacey with the same weight on the bar.
that caps off our seconds here for platform 2 as Iris hit 160. We're now on to our third. Tammy, 97.5 piece. Ready for her third attempt.
Hey, Yui, for you, what's the scariest lift for you on your third attempt?
Definitely the squat. I think the squat is the most anxiety-inducing lift for me personally. Something about the weight just physically upon you on your back. But that's why I enjoy squatting personally. I think the anxiety of the third attempt is amazing. And I think people forget it's really hard to execute like that on the platform that our lifters here have really amazing job.
And Lacey with a successful second attempt. I believe we're finally breaking into the 300s. Melissa with 137.5 kilos, or 303 pounds.
And I believe here, something to note is that we have a mixed bunch of lifters here in our flights, from different categories. For those of you who are familiar, based on your age and your demographics, you fall into the open category, the masters category, or into one of our team categories. We have a pretty good variety here today.
Very diverse.
Yeah.
Melissa hits her second attempt.
And those thirds are successful both for Tammy and Claudia. Congratulations on going 3 for 3 so far. I think at these national level meets, you might see some of our athletes going more conservatively and trying to secure a total, where some might take a riskier competing for a higher one. So here Anne getting ready to take 110 here for her third after hitting her second at 105.
And we have Catherine hitting her second attempt at 140, or 308 pounds. And she gets it.
Now,
let's
on
go.
platform 1, we have 3 lifters that I believe need to really hit their thirds here. After missing their first and second attempts, and that's another lift, unfortunately. And they're still getting 105 on the board, not missing that. Still building.
We have Aaron on platform 1 with 142.5 kilos.
Here with 160 ready on platform 2 as we have the next 4 squats all in the same range. Some really heavy squats here for our lifters on platform 2.
Erin with 2 white lights, and that's all you need. Lois back up for her 3rd attempt, and she really needs to hit this one.
I agree. So as we mentioned before, you need to register 1 successful attempt in each lift to be able to have a total that counts for this competition. Otherwise, missing all 3 is known as bombing out. But I have no doubt our lifters here will be able to hit this and get on the board. Unfortunately, Angelina misses her 3rd attempt there. On strength and sequence.
Let's go, Lois.
160 again. 160 looks like the magic number here for thirds on platform 2. Some big squats.
Platform 2, there's going to be a battle for sure. And Lois hitting her 3rd attempt.
Let's go. Congrats, Lois, getting on the board.
That's what we call a comeback. 2016 Cavs vs. Warriors. Blocked by James.
Blocked by James.
That's what that moment is.
160 again here. Now, lifters, of course, have 1 whole minute to execute the lift when the bar is ready, command is given. And honestly, in your experience, Eric, 1 minute's a lot of time.
Oh yeah, a lot
moment,
of time.
You know, if you're all amped up on caffeine. And let's go, Jamie, hitting her 3rd. 3 for 3 so far. Great day.
Susan hitting her 3rd attempt.
Let's go.
3 for 3. Michelle, can she hit her 3rd squat? Can she avoid the bomb out?
And again here for Tiffany taking 160 as a repeat. Same way on the bar. Let's see how she does here. You can hear the crowd screaming from back here. Energy's already this great on a Friday morning.
At 8:17, that couldn't be me.
Man, if I had that energy every Friday morning, I would be a contributing member of society.
I would be able to efficiently increase shareholder value.
I would increase shareholder value. Come on, Tiffany.
Oh, Michelle missing her 3rd attempt.
And you know, sometimes that's how it is. You try and take the risk there for 3rd attempts. You never know what's there in the moment, and that's what the sport's all about.
And it happens. There's just some days where the lift just won't happen. I've been there.
Let's go, Tiffany. Also going 3 for 3. Our lifters here on platform too, man.
But it's about the comeback story.
It is about
Michelle, you can have a great comeback story.
Always, always. And 165, Iris capping off our squats here. Heaviest squat of the day on platform 2.
And Suzanne on platform 1 with 127.5 kilos.
164 pounds, pushing insane weight right now.
Suzanne failing her 3rd attempt. Jennifer up next with 132.5.
Again, once again, shout out to our spotters and loaders here for keeping our lifters safe and for also helping this run so smoothly.
Exactly.
If you are a spotter/loader, I will give you a fist bump. Iris, unfortunately, missing her 3rd there, and that caps off squats on platform 2 here for our lifters. Day 2, USAPL raw abs. And we take a small intermission or bench.
Jennifer missing her 3rd attempt of 132.5 kilos.
You know, based on what we're seeing on platform 1 here, we take some big jumps between 2nd and 3rd. Definitely erring on the side of riskier, but you know, attempt selection area. What do you think goes behind it here as Brenna is really taking?
It really depends on what you have in the day and how you feel. Because an important part of this sport is having your handler and having an outside point of view versus your own point of view as a lifter, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And so you have to communicate. How do you feel yourself? And then how did it look to someone else? And you use that information to determine your next attempt.
Very eloquently said, Eric. As Brenna here hits her 3rd attempt. Let's go. She's on
Come
the
on,
board.
Brenna, let's go.
And avoids bombing out. Now, you know, bombing out can be unfortunate. However, it doesn't mean the meet's over. You know, you've signed up for an experience. Still got to go out there and compete.
You got to compete at the highest level.
And I have no doubt all our athletes here today and this weekend have worked incredibly hard to be where they are. Powerlifting is a sport that on the surface might not have much merit, but there's a lot of work and blood and sweat and tears that go into it.
It definitely has a lot to do with someone's character, the amount of time
Exactly,
and years that you put into lifting.
Lacey here taking 140, and here as squats resume with flight B on platform 2. Seeing some heavier squats in the openers, starting at 102, but we're heading all the way into 182 and a half. Ooh. 182 and a half keys. That might be over the 400 mark. I believe it is. Double check that now.
It's big. Melissa on her third attempt, 145 keys, 19 pounds. What are some animals that weigh 320 pounds?
I do not know that off the top of my head, Eric. I might have to search it. Winona here with
Melissa hitting her third. And Erin with her last attempt, final squat of this flight.
And, you know, again, we have lifters from all over the nation coming here to compete. We actually have guest lifters from another country as well, the Bahamas here.
The Bahamas?
As well, yes.
I could take a vacation here.
You know, this event is important. We do have some upcoming events in the next few months. One of them being the Open and Masters World Championships, this year hosted in Seoul, South Korea.
That's where I'm from.
End of the year, yes, sir. I know South Korea has the USAPL division there has been growing tremendously.
My favorite lifter from South Korea is Keenan Lee. Shout out Keenan Lee.
We also have the Hong Kong Championships in Youth Bench and Equipped Nationals coming up actually very soon. And the Arnold Sports Festival coming next, has already.
Erin with her third squat attempt, 147 keys. That is 325 pounds.
Kalani here, 152 and a half keys. These openers are already starting to cross some heavy territory. Now, speaking about she misses her opener,
On platform 1, we're moving over to our next flight. And we have moving to some big weight over here, 132 and a half kilos on the bar.
Talking about jumps between attempts here on squat, what do you typically expect to see here for some of our lifters today? I think we're seeing anywhere from about 2.5 to sometimes even
Sometimes you could
15 kilo jumps. Might be a little big, but
very ambitious, but if you're feeling good and you've had a lot of caffeine, you
Big
tapered
jumps.
correctly or even peaked correctly,
right.
taking big jumps can be the move.
And I think again, all that comes down to lifter psychology here. Honestly,
Lily
her
missing
jumps
her
might
first
work
attempt
well.
on platform 1.
Unfortunately, a miss there for Kristen's opener, 155. Lauren getting ready with 157 and a half keys here.
Sarah up next on platform 1, 132 and a half. Same weight as the first squatter.
Lauren getting ready to squat here. Now, the squat itself, my personal favorite lift. I'm biased. You see a lot of different ranges of technique and equipment used for all of these, especially the squat.
Yes,
So you might be
I
seeing
agree.
some of our lifters use heeled shoes versus flat shoes. What's up with that, Eric?
It all comes down to what are your leverages. For me, I have very long femurs and short tibias. And so
Let's go, Lauren.
theoretically I should be good at squatting in heels. However, I don't because I can't hit depth.
A lot of our
So there's
lifters
always
here-
that side. Everyone's different, is all I'm saying.
correct. Yes.
It does.
For those of you that might need a refresher, in order to hit a successful lift in the squat event, your hip crease has to be below where your knee is. That is what we qualify as depth to count as a legal lift for squat. That's one of the rules. And as Eric was saying, equipment can really help in hitting depth easier for you in training and in competition. As Stephanie has 402 loaded up for her opener. Oh my goodness, that is a monster squat.
That is
opener,
huge. 402.
I'm scared. I don't know what she's gonna have for her second and third. I'm frightened.
Madison with 142.
182 and a half kilos is nuts. And she hits that opener. That is insane. Let's see what she has put in for a second as Sabra gets ready for 107 and a half keys here. Taking a 5 kilo jump.
Madison on platform 1, 142 and a half kilos, 314 pounds. So on platform 2, we see 2 of the lifters have missed their first attempts, but they are going up.
Stephanie taking 192 keys for her second. I'm looking ahead.
Madison hits her first attempt. Belinda up next with 145, 319 pounds.
Again, shout out to our sponsors here helping run this event. All of our equipment here on the platforms has been supplied by Texas Strength Systems, making some of the highest quality calibrated plates, combo racks, and barbells that I personally train with. Shout out TSS for running this event and actually providing the equipment we need.
I've been training on TSS racks and bars for, I'd say, 2 years now. And it's some of the best. Belinda misses her first attempt.
Wendy here getting ready for 110 as Sabra was successful on her second attempt there.
And I apologize if I mispronounced your name, but
I apologize.
Mopisola with her first attempt, 150 keys, 331 pounds.
Wendy, unfortunately missing her second there, 110. 7.5 keys is a big jump, but I'm sure she'll have a good attempt. Robin getting ready for 115 here. Up next after Robin, 157.
Mopisola misses her first attempt.
Those nerves on the opener, it's felt. First lift.
Jennifer Moore with 152 on the bar, 336 pounds.
You know, squat's a hard lift to open up with.
It is.
It's not the easiest.
Personally, I wish we opened up a bench first.
Big bench does not want to see you, Eric. As contending is ready for 157.5 kilos. Some really heavy squats here, honestly.
Jennifer hits her first attempt, and Lauren is up next, hitting the same weight. Do you know any fun facts about Atlanta, Georgia, where this meet is being hosted?
I do, as, well, not an Atlanta native, but someone who has stayed in Atlanta all my college life. Great city, very big.
I agree.
Population. Well, at my time as a tech tour guide, we were the host in the 1996 Summer Olympics. People forget that.
They do.
They do forget we were a Summer Olympics host. As Kristen is ready for 160 here. Any other fun facts here?
Some fun facts that I know. Ludacris started his career here, I believe.
Luda.
My favorite Fast and Furious actor.
Oh yeah.
Lauren Clapp hits her first attempt. Clap it up for Lauren.
Let's go.
I apologize for this horrible joke. Megan with 162.5 keys on the bar.
Kristen here with 160. Unfortunately, for Kristen. Now, alongside whether or not a lift was a white or red light, if it is a red light, there are 3 colors associated with it to let you know what the actual context was. Not all fails or red lights is on strength.
Right.
There are technique standards you have to hit. And
So we can go through some of what the lights mean.
yeah, we
So
can, definitely.
when there's a red light and there's a yellow horizontal line, I believe that infraction is when you have, at least on squat, you have a soft lockout on your knees, which means your knees are not fully straight.
Correct.
Megan misses her first attempt. And Judith closing out flight B on first attempt with 172.5 kilos. That's big.
That is big for an opener.
That-
Lauren here with 165. I think 7.5 keys there to jump. Who knows what she has in store for her third.
She might have something in her bag. And the clock is running down for Judith's first attempt. Judith hits her first attempt. On to second attempts now. Lily with 140 on the bar.
And we're seeing some of our third attempts roll in for platform 2. I see some big numbers. I'm not going to spoil it. I see some big numbers. You guys can check it out too on LiftingCast. Follow along. Lauren, 20 seconds left for the lift. Unfortunately, a no lift for Lauren. So right there, she had 2 reds, and she got 2 red lights, or rather red cards with those red lights. And the squat, that is typically an infraction on depth. So
Or completely failing the squat.
correct. But in this case, it's hard to tell. Our referees doing the best they can, obviously, calling these in live action. And here we have our heaviest squat of the day, I believe.
192.5. That is big.
192.5 kilos. That is about 425 pounds, almost.
Sarah on platform 1 with 140. Do you think we'll see some battles here today?
I think so. I think once we start seeing bench shake up, amazing second there by Stephanie as we head into our third attempts. I think once we start seeing the bench attempts rolling, shake up.
I agree. Sarah hits her second attempt. Another crazy thing about powerlifting is it's really not over until it's over.
It never is over until it's over. It's such a momentum-based sport. All it takes really is one good lift. Unfortunately, I've only ever experienced negative momentum, so
I'm sorry to hear that, UV. Belinda on platform 1, 145 kilos on the bar.
now, one thing to note is that at the national level, you can actually have lifters set both state and national records. But the weight selection is different for both. For setting a state record, you can only take 2.5 kilograms. However, if you are attempting a national record, you can take a half kilogram. It will become a chip. Unfortunately, you might be missing the attempt there. Still secures 2.5 kilos on the day. As a sovereign weight for 112 kilos for her third attempt.
Linda hit her second attempt, and Alexia's up next with 147.5 kilos on the bar.
Robin with 122.5 kilos for her third attempt here on squats.
The clock is running down for Alexia.
Kristen getting ready soon to take her third attempt of 160. Kristen got the ball now.
Alexia hits her second attempt. Mopasola retaking her first attempt of 150 kilos, 331 pounds.
We got a little Freddie Mercury. All right, no lift there on platform 3.
And it looks like Kristen's up next, taking her third attempt here, trying to secure a total on squat.
Mopasola has a no lift on her second attempt on squat.
Kristen here getting ready. With 160, she walks it out. Come on, Kristen. Huge brace. Smokes her third attempt there. Let's see what the refs say. Unfortunately, not a lift there.
Madison on platform 1 with 152.5 kilos. Now, what's your opinion on having the racks inside versus outside?
Again, personal preference. I think I squat with the racks straight up. I think it really depends. Sometimes you'll have some of our heavier lifters and our larger lifters group outside. But sometimes it's a better balance to have them inside. As Madison,
come on.
Powers through there. Got some great representation here from across different lifting brands. A7 being one of them. A7 making the most colorful singlets, comp shirts, sleeves, equipment, period, that I know. As Katandu, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, she hits her third there. Is that a successful lift? Yes. Congratulations on hitting 162.5. Huge third attempt.
Jennifer on platform 1, 160 kilos.
As Winona gets ready for her third, and we're breaking into the 165 kilo range here on platform 2.
Jennifer setting up. But they're very, very close stance. French style.
Definitely seeing a range of techniques, setup, stances here. Bar position as well, whether they go lower bar on their back or higher. Again, all personal preference. And are very dependent on your leverages as well. As Winona takes it into the hole and gets up. Come on. Amazing third attempt there. Very controlled squat. Winona, 3 for 3. Great start to the day.
Lauren. Hits her second attempt. And Megan up next with hers. 165 kilos on the bar.
Lauren getting ready with 167.5 kilos here. And Lauren, I believe, in the SBD kit, so red and black, classic colorway here. Takes a race. Nothing too difficult there for her. Great third attempt selection after missing a second. She secures the third and she's ecstatic. Let's go.
Megan missing her second attempt.
And Stephanie here capping out our thirds on platform 2 with 197.5 kilos.
That is wild.
You are almost touching 441 there.
I believe that's 435 pounds. 435 pounds. And Judith with 182.5 on the bar.
Stephanie getting her shelf secured there. As you can see, bar placement, tightness on the back, super important for squat.
Very.
Taking your time. Come on, Stephanie. Very confident walkout.
Judith with a very comfortable walkout. See if she smokes it.
Come on, Stephanie.
Come on, Judith.
There.
What a grind. Did she hit depth though?
And that caps off squats on platform 2.
Unfortunately, Judith didn't hit depth on her second attempt. We're now on to our third squats on flight B. Sarah with 145 pounds on the bar.
Once again, thank you to our spotters and loaders here. They have been helping this flight, both these flights run extremely quick. Sarah.
Oh, she definitely hit depth. Come on. What a grind.
Oh my goodness. That is a fight.
I think that deserves 3 lights. And the refs agree. Lily up next with her third attempt, 147.5 kilos. Making a 7.5 kilo jump from her last attempt. Goes down, hits the hole.
Amazing squat.
What an
there.
easy third attempt. And what do the refs say? 3 white lights.
Definitely seeing a range of colorways here. You know, I think meet day fashion matters.
It does.
I am a firm believer in look good.
Look good, feel good, do good.
Feel good, play good. Or I forgot what the football saying was, but you know, it's an important day.
It is.
You gotta show out. As
Mopasola on her third attempt.
has to secure this right now to register a total at this meet. I have no doubt she can do it. Come on.
Oh, she hit depth.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
Sunk.
And the refs agree. 3 white lights for Mopasola, securing
Call that
a total.
the Titanic, the way she sunk it. Not my best work.
Do better.
And I believe
Alexia's up next with her third attempt, 152.5 kilos. Locking in.
taking full advantage of the full minute they have to execute the lift.
Confident walkout. Come on, Alexia. And she fails her third attempt. Shout out to our handlers and spotters. That's a really important factor, keeping our lifters safe. Madison up next, retaking her second attempt of 152.5 kilos.
You can hear the crowd screaming all the way from back here. This energy, I need some of that energy right now. That Friday energy.
Big brace.
Oh yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Exclamation of.
Period. Is that what they say nowadays?
I believe that's what they say.
2 white lights. She hits her third attempt.
Not too well versed in the slang of today's generation.
Belinda up next, 155 keys on the bar.
I am what some might refer to as an unk.
I am too. They call me Chopped and Unk.
And Belinda here, I like this singlet.
Oh, that's a solid walkout.
This is. She's gonna smoke this. Oh yeah.
Oh, come on. Yes.
Consistent, and people forget how impressive it is to execute like max loads with perfect technique. This is insane. Guitar lifters here are very experienced.
Oh, very.
Have been training for very long, or training as best as they can with the highest discipline. I think
When you get to this level, every rep that they perform is same technique, warm-ups.
everything, yeah.
Up to the top set, up to the third attempt. We have Jennifer with 165 kilos on the bar.
Jennifer here.
Big brace.
Bit of a lower bar
Squats.
position. Very nice. Let's
Come
go.
on. What a grind.
With that French style technique. French team known for their
3 white
squats.
lights for Megan. She put a total on the board. Lauren up next. Or no, I'm sorry, Megan up next.
The bench will be underway in about 5 minutes on the platform too, so go ahead. Wash it. Get some coffee, leave at home, get prepared for bench.
Lauren with 170 kilos on the bar. Getting under the bar.
Now Lauren, I think one of our first lifters to see I've seen here so far wearing a prong belt, which is a lever belt. Again, a matter of personal preference, I
And she sinks that.
think. Oh wow.
That was quick.
Now, she hits her third. Again, you can see it over and over. So many differences in how you can perform the squat. Some people really like to perform it really nice and slow, and control their balance on the way down to the bottom. Others, like we just saw, want to take advantage of that stretch reflex that we have and use as much of that power to come out.
Judith with 182.5 kilos.
I think it just goes to show that a variety of techniques, equipment, everything is different. But
Right.
what works, that's the cool thing about the sport. It's what works for you and your body. 162.5. Oh, 182.5.
182.5.
Wow. I'm sorry. I should do better.
She gets
Insane.
ready for the squat. She looks locked in.
Oh, it's like a miss there
Okay.
right out of the bottom.
It was not there for the day. Well, now we have rounded out our third attempt on squat for platform 1. Let's give a round of applause to these lifters today.
Congrats to all our lifters on platforms 1 and 2 for getting through the squat. They are officially 1/3 of the way through. They're mean.
It's very speedy.
Very speedy. I'm amazed at like the speed of this spotting and loading crew. This is on some like.
And just for those of you at home, the entire meet is based off of the spotting and loading crew
100%.
in terms of how fast it goes.
Oh yeah, Eric and I have done this before, and it is tiring. It is tiring carrying 55 pound
Very, very
plates
tiring.
and less over and over. So again, thank you to our spotters and loaders for taking time out of their weekend to do this and keep our lifters safe, especially. Your work does not go unnoticed. Once again, shout out to all of our sponsors for this event. Shout out Sour Strips as well. I think
Sour
they've been giving
Strips.
some samples to our lifters here as part of their athlete bag. And Sour Strips,
They're
you know,
seriously sour candy.
seriously sour
And they're
candy.
made by lifters.
And, you know, let me tell you, when you are sweating in this humid weather that we're experiencing right now, this heat dome all across the country, and you need some sugar mid-workout, Sour Strips is always good. My favorite flavor, I think it's like the straw mango.
I think the only one I've ever had is the rainbow one.
They're
I don't
all
know the
good.
flavors.
They're all good.
good.
They're all
I
good.
can confirm, though.
They are so good. And also shout out, speaking of the heat, LMNT here, probably the single best electrolyte brand, at least for lifters, that I would say. And yeah, training in the heat only adds to the amazing things that our lifters are doing, because man, training in this heat here, especially in the South.
Oh, it's different.
Oh yeah, I'm melting by the end of putting my knee sleeves on. That's just me though. So.
Every session, I have to chalk my hands to take my knee sleeves off. That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
bad it gets.
So shout out Sour Strips and LMNT for making sure I do not die from my car to entering the gym.
During this intermission, how about we talk about Atlanta?
Yeah,
we talked a little bit more.
Some more Atlanta facts, Eric. You have 40 seconds before. I'm kidding. Atlanta does have some very rich history. It is the original home to the Creek and Cherokee Native American populations. And, you know, Atlanta, I'm pretty sure, is a more recently constructed city. A lot of history there. The original endpoint for a Midwest railroad in 1836. And eventually they started out as a settlement, and now, of course, Atlanta is a little bit more than a settlement, I would say. Just a little bit.
A little,
Just
little city.
bit. A little city.
You know,
Just a little city.
some tall buildings here and there.
As we are getting ready here to commence bench on platform 2. Tammy
Bench
opening with
press.
42.5. Now, bench press here, definitely, I think a lot of powerlifters in the community can agree, the most technical lift, I would say. And I think the bench, unique in the sense that you have 3 commands.
You have 3 commands. There's more rules regarding where the touch
Exactly.
points are on the bench
Where the
and what you
touch
can do with
points
your feet, your butt, your back, arms, and
All of them,
everything.
yeah. So definitely a much more standardized lift. You know, as you'll see here, the characteristic part of the bench press is that there is a pause. You have to wait for a press command. As you can see there, Tammy.
And
here,
that was fast. That
smooth
flew.
opener there. Might also see some smaller jumps on the bench press as it is an upper body lift.
Definitely. And I would say strength caps out a lot quicker on bench too.
For
So
sure. You know, your upper body can only, it's less muscles involved, so. But, yeah, definitely more rules to be aware of here on the bench press. As Eric mentioned, your feet position, your butt does have to touch the bench the entire time.
Feet have to be completely flat to the ability that your shoe doesn't leave the ground.
Exactly. No up and down motion, just like the squat and deadlift. I think up and
And
down.
Claudio with a fast opener.
Up and down's a little bit easier to unintentionally experience on bench, for sure. balance. It's hard. It's hard holding. Like
It is.
1.5 to 2 times your body weight.
And especially when you unrack and you have to fully stretch out your elbows before you get the command.
And the pause on the bench press, you know, it's not as simple as just the pause. Our lifters, I know in training, do an exceptional job of trying to hit a pause as smoothly as possible. The bar has to be motionless before the center judge can give a press command. So, you know, this lift is hard. This is why I do not like the bench press. I am anti-bench press.
This is why I love bench press.
Eric and I differ on this matter.
So what variations are there to work on that pause?
You know, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm kidding. Well, see, bench people, I think, when it comes to powerlifting training, probably train the most. A lot of our lifters here probably benching 3 to 5 times a week, depending on their leverages. Also, definitely the most affected by leverages here. Short versus long arms can make a huge difference here. As Ann is getting ready, it looks like the clock is going to run out here. Not too sure.
Not too sure why.
Could be tactical, could be something else.
Tactical reason. Hopefully she's okay, though. If anything bad did happen.
Okay, yes. Lena here, 65 keys for her opener. And with the bench press, you do have the option of asking one of our spotters for a liftoff. Could be beneficial, and again, that is personal preference. I know some lifters don't like a liftoff, so they want to control how they get the bench handed off, and it's not too much energy. Some lifters do need a liftoff. But you can see here, all of our lifters taking time to nail their meticulous setups here as Lena.
With a fast bench.
Very fast bench there. And I guess it'll be interesting to see how the subtotals shake up and how placings fall a little bit more into line based on attempts.
So all totals are so far based off of people who've had their first bench attempts. Pretty close.
Jamie here with 72.5 kilos for her bench. I'm going to see some pretty strong benches today. Probably some crossing into like the 200-pound range.
Oh, for sure.
Really impressive. Also, thank you to our judges and our other staff here at the event for helping and taking out some of their time from their lives to help this event run smoothly.
Big shout out.
Possible without any of y'all.
There's just so many elements that go into this meet. So many logistical items.
So many logistics to consider, and you know, Eric and I have probably been doing this for like how many years now? Like a bajillion.
I'd say about a bajillion.
Yeah, bajillion plus minus one.
Probably one of the most experienced lifters I know, Yuvaraj.
So experienced. But I would definitely say over the past 2-3 years, the sport has grown, especially in the last year or two.
Yes.
And I think it's good to see the community keep up with that. And still, you know, this event has gotten a lot bigger as well.
And we love to see it.
85 kilos here for Tiffany. 85 kilos, about 185, I believe 187 pounds. I need Eric to check that for me real quick.
85. It's about 189 pounds, 187 pounds.
Okay, well, we're getting close to that 200-pound range, and these are just
We're going to break it.
Now, another rule about the bench press regarding grip width. There is a limit on how wide you can lift the bar. As Tiffany, it's a successful lift there. You must have a finger in contact with the ring on the barbell.
I believe it's pinkies. No, index fingers the widest that you can go.
Index finger is the widest you can go. However, the wider the grip does not necessarily mean that is the strongest position. I know there are a lot of lifters that take a much closer grip too because that is so strong for them. Same thing with arching on the bench press. I know one of the big things that this sport kind of
it emphasizes having a big arch.
Having a big arch, and that's not that's not an easy thing to do. See, as here, Iris taking a bit of a closer grip here. That is a close grip bench. She still smokes that. again, arching is a difficult technical thing to do. It is arching, leg drive, all these moving parts on the bench.
Right.
It is not a smooth-brained activity. The bench press requires
many ridges in the brain.
Many ridges in the brain. That is high mental involvement. Tammy, starting off her seconds here with 45. As we are only 15 seconds away from starting up bench on platform 1, and Eric leaving my side as a commentator for this platform. Tammy gets her second there. Amazing work. Don't believe we've seen anybody bench the belt yet so far.
We have not.
Again, also
it's
matter
all
of
preference.
Yeah.
That's what makes powerlifting beautiful. So much variety.
Claudia's ecstatic as she runs off the platform. Very easy second there. I think she knows she has a potential for hitting a PR on the platform, and that has to be one of the best feelings.
Oh,
hitting
easily.
An all-time PR on the platform.
On platform 1, we have Lois going for her first attempt. 27.5 kilos on the bar.
As Anne is about to walk out to 70 kilos for her second.
Lois with a fast first attempt. 3 white lights.
And our lifters are allowed to use blocks as well, actually. That is part of the rules, if needed. Same thing applies. Their feet cannot change, and they have to stay flat on these blocks.
Susan with 40 kilos on the bar.
And with a great second attempt. They're a little bit slow. Probably, I think she has about 2.5 to 5 kilos more.
And Susan with a good first attempt.
Lena, I'm rocking with this white and blue singlet from A7. That is a tough colorway.
That is tough.
A7, again, one of our biggest sponsors here for this event. Every year, they always come out with some of the most unique colorways I've ever seen.
Unique colorways, so much drip.
So much, as the youngins would say, drip or drown. I believe that is what they say.
If you're a chopped powerlifter, go get some A7.
You should get some A7. And A7 also, some of the most rather affordable pricing too for stuff on the market.
Right. I believe Brenna's up next on her first attempt on platform 1. Smokes the first attempt.
Now,
and
in powerlifting,
3 white lights.
Eric, you can comment on this as well. Sometimes we see people who are lift specialists. What does that mean?
That means you're just really good at one lift, which is why we say the meet's not over until it's over.
Exactly. You never
You
know.
have some crazy deadlift specialists out there, or squat specialists.
Squat specialists.
So there are some people who'll be way ahead up in the early parts of the meet.
And they can get caught up to.
Exactly.
It's a whole story about pulling for the win. You never know. Same thing with bench. We
push for the win.
Push for the win.
Although that relatively or rarely happens.
Rarely happens. I mean, bench is typically a smaller quantitative amount of weight to actually catch up to. But Jamie here with 77.5 kilos. She is wearing a belt, and she gets easy second there. Very well done.
Catherine's up next on platform 1.
Wearing a belt in powerlifting, probably the most visually common / characteristic thing that we see in powerlifting. If you're wearing a belt while lifting, you are a powerlifter. Why do we wear a belt?
I honestly don't know why.
Yeah, I just been wearing a belt because it looks fancy. Well, in all lifts.
Oh, in all lifts. Oh, you get a better brace.
Exactly.
Personally, it adds like a bajillion pounds to my total.
It is
so I
Without a belt, I can't smoke the bar.
It's my kryptonite. My belt's my kryptonite.
Tiffany here taking 90, almost cracking into the 200-pound range there.
Catherine hits her first attempt, and up next we have Melissa on platform 1 with 62.5 kilos.
Little slow second from Tiffany, but Iris is getting ready with 102.5 up next. Still a good lift. Now, the bench, unique because it's also, there are bench-only meets in powerlifting. And there are some really talented benchers that
And on platform 1,
bench-only meets.
Melissa smokes her first attempt.
Iris here, and another visually stunning A7. Oh, I'm sorry, I just can't get enough of these A7s.
So aesthetic. Michelle up next on platform 1. 65
Iris,
kilos.
102.5 kilos. That
Wow.
is 226 pounds. Bigger than the big 225. Very well executed.
There has been inflation in bench.
Yes, unfortunately, as powerlifting has become larger and more widespread, it seems like the standards have been continually getting pushed every year, which is why I actually love this sport. I think it's motivating to see plateaus get broken over and over, and I'm sure our lifters competing here today and this weekend can agree with that.
Michelle smoking her first attempt on bench.
Now,
So far, no one's missed their first attempt on platform 1.
Eric,
I
with
hope I
bench,
don't jinx it.
what are your thoughts on your approach to the lift, on being hyped up versus more calm and collected?
So I'm a very calm and collected lifter. If I get too hyped,
Eric's a
it's
chill
just-
guy.
it'll all fall apart.
You're a chill guy, Eric?
I'm a chill guy.
Eric is a chill guy. You heard it first.
What about you, UV?
I think I tend to do with a little bit more arousal for squat and deadlift and bench, actually. But, you know, there are pluses and minuses. I think being too hyped up could be negative on your lift sometimes. As Claudia,
There is such thing as too much.
there's always.
Our
lifters here,
up next.
You know,
Platform 1.
it's crazy because a lot of them are probably all amped up on caffeine to get through meet day. I know I need like at least 1,000 milligrams. No, I'm kidding.
He was not kidding.
I need a substantial amount of caffeine to get through meet day because you're talking about hours of top end strength. It's tough. It's draining.
Yeah, these athletes had to get up really early today for
They
weigh-ins
got
and
really early
everything.
for weigh-ins. People forget here in the USAPL we have 2-hour weigh-ins. So these athletes have been up
They probably got here at like 5.
maybe even earlier if some of them were planning on cutting into a class
Right.
as well. So this is already a mental feat to be performing at this level this early. And pushing through. Can she complete the lift? Yeah, it's unfortunate. Good save there by the spotters. Thank you again.
Suzanne up next on platform 1. Let's see how her opener moves.
Looking ahead in our flight. Some big benches coming up.
Suzanne smokes the first attempt. On to our second attempts on platform 1.
And I believe that was Lena who had just gone.
Lois smoking her second attempt. What is your philosophy behind jumps on bench? I know we talked a little bit about this earlier,
Eric,
but
I am the last person you want to ask about bench. I am what's considered a poverty bencher. Quite an eloquent socioeconomic analogy to illustrate my bad bench. No, I think as we've mentioned before, probably smaller jumps on bench is what we're going to see. The upper body, you're not going to be taking a 30-pound jump on bench.
With a 5-kilo jump.
If you are, coach me.
Come on, Susan. With a grind. Come on.
Way to stick with it.
That is a grind. You know what you call that? You call that lion mentality.
The lion does not concern itself with.
Have you heard the Ray Lewis speech?
I have
about
not.
being the lion and
not
not being a gazelle.
Well,
all these athletes are lions. Lion
they're
mentality.
very motivated. And it's tough. People forget that performing at this level with strength requires so much coordination with everything else.
Right.
And everyone here competing, they all have commitments for sure. Whether it's, as a parent, their day jobs, being in college. Powerlifting demands a lot outside of your life in general. It requires a lot of sacrifice.
Right. And Catherine with her 62.5 attempt smokes that. Oh my gosh.
And Tiffany, 92.5.
Come
Can
on.
she
grind.
push it?
Push.
Oh my goodness, Tiffany. Oh my goodness.
Push.
Oh my goodness. Can she get the other arm to lock out?
Oh.
Oh, it looks like what an effort there.
That was a great
way
effort.
to not give up. Oh my goodness.
That's how you should approach life. Just don't give up.
Talk about leaving it all on the platform. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in this. Iris, with our heaviest bench here on platform 2, 107.5 kilos. If my calculations are correct, that is 238 pounds.
I can't do quick math. Brenna smokes her second attempt. Everyone on platform 1's having great second
attempt
attempts.
Selection here.
They must have just gone really conservative on the first.
Yeah, taking bigger jumps, building confidence. Psychology is a big part of meet day competition. And again, shout out to all our coaches and handlers here. They are taking care of so much on the back end to ensure the lifting have a good day. Iris, great pause. Oh my goodness.
Grind.
Close grip sticking point. Oh, and unable to get through.
Jennifer with their second attempt.
These are
65
big
kilos.
benches.
Grind. Oh, okay. She did not get that.
And that wraps up bench for flight A on platform 2 as we head on to flight B.
Melissa taking 65 kilos on platform 1.
Speaking now, we have some masters lifters here, as you can see, in these two platforms. Such respect, honestly.
That's like big respect.
Powerlifting, where a lot of people I know in that age category would maybe not do it. It's insane. Powerlifting at any age, let alone
some of the strongest masters out there.
Some of the strongest masters. Fun fact, our oldest athlete here at Raw Nationals, Tammy Allen, 82.
82 years old.
Competing since 2022. That is insane. That is honestly one of the biggest inspirations for me in this sport. Because
if she can do it, everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it.
You can sustain this for a long time.
Yeah, it'll always be there.
And I believe powerlifting has the lowest injury rate across all sports. I read a fact earlier. It was at 0.0002%.
Never sprained my ankle powerlifting, but I sprained my ankle playing basketball. That's because Eric crossed me over.
Facts.
Robin here.
Michelle smoked 67.5 on her second attempt.
The A7 singlets. I think I've seen every single colorway today.
Have we seen green?
I think Robin here with the accented lime green easy bench. Ooh, let's go.
Wow. So we have seen
Three
green.
whites here.
Lacey, 75 kilos on the bar.
Lauren with her opener as well. Now, that's the oldest side. We also have some teen lifters here, and we have 17 teen one lifters.
17 teen ones.
At this competition overall. So talk about people from both sides.
That's crazy.
Being represented here.
When I was a teen, I was just drinking chocolate milk at home.
I was. Yeah. I was not a productive member of society.
Nope.
Lauren here, taking her time to set up. Now, you may have seen it on the squat, might have been less visible, probably more visible here on the bench. There's some white powder on the back of some of our lifters. That is chalk. Why do we use chalk in powerlifting?
We have a lot of issues, right? Where when we have a lot of leg drive, you end up slipping on the bench. So what people do is we put chalk on our backs so that we don't slip on the bench and we stick. So we can use our leg drive to its maximum efficiency.
Right there, yeah.
And Aaron, smoking her second attempt, 80 kilos.
And
3 white lights.
You know, for those that may have used the combo rack before or trained on powerlifting equipment, the bench pad isn't, you know, it's not exactly a huge bench pad. And I'll let it be known, TSS actually I think makes the best bench pad. I personally use.
I agree.
Very, very grippy, very secure, very stable. So shout out TSS again for top-notch equipment. Just love their rack. It's like the perfect rack.
Suzanne, 80 kilos moves like it's nothing.
But yeah, you can see all our lifters here coming to the bench with chalk on their back, sometimes on their neck as well. Anything to secure as much grip and stability.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, yeah. You know, powerlifting is not just lift heavy rock. It is set yourself up to lift
It requires some
heavier
thinking.
rock.
It's not a smooth brain sport.
It's not. It requires many ridges.
Lois with an easy third attempt, 32.5 kilos.
Bench has been some very good attempt selection here, honestly, for our lifters so far on bench. And typically, yes, I think Eric had mentioned this earlier, you will see our lifters maybe erring on the side of being conservative for bench, especially since it is the most technical and having that extra command there spices things up.
Susan, a Masters 4 lifter with 45 kilos on the bar. Wow.
Oh my goodness,
Come on,
Susan.
Susan.
Wow, what a way to
round out bench.
You love to see it.
I know. That's crazy.
That is ridiculous as we head into Stephanie, 85 keys. Light work there. Light work, no reaction, quite literally. And
We have another Masters lifter up next, Jennifer. Her third attempt, 65 kilos. With a meticulous setup.
now, these morning sessions are followed by an evening prime time session. And the reason why I mentioned that is because
Come on, Jennifer.
qualifying for Raw Nationals, for those who are unaware, is based on a total. You have to hit a qualifying total that the USAPL decides on at a meet for Raw Nationals. However, in powerlifting, there's also another way to measure your performance, and that is the DOT score. What is the DOT score?
So DOTS, it's your body weight ratio to how much weight you lifted.
Right. And so DOTS is how we differentiate the relative performance of people that are in the same weight class. You might have someone with a lower total, but if that body weight difference is big,
Oh, you'll have a
you'll
good
also
DOT score.
Very good DOT score. So
Catherine with 65 on the bar. She smokes it.
some of our
That's an
lifters
easy third
here
attempt.
might be going for a total PR. Maybe they're going for bodyweight PRs.
Maybe.
Maybe bodyweight PRs. Maybe they're trying to max out on their DOT score. So many different ways to still seize the day and get, some sort of personal best. Let's go, Winona. 92.5. Oh, God.
Big opener.
Talk about easy.
Brenner with 67.5 on the bar. That was a pretty easy bench. Very great third attempt selection there. She probably had about 70 for the day. She went all out. Melissa taking the same weight. Very, very meticulous setup by Melissa.
Very nice.
Maximum arch. With a slow approach.
Very nice.
Wow. That was a good grind.
And I think, you know, with the bench press, one difference we might see in terms of pausing is whether you do a sink or a soft touch.
Right.
I think that's definitely a matter of preference. Typically, we tend to see lighter lifters use more of a soft touch, but a soft touch is hard to do. Pretty hard to execute perfectly.
However, if you do a soft touch correctly, you'll get a quicker press command versus when you sink.
Because the bar is motionless quicker. So
there's pros and cons to each for sure.
Pros and cons to each as well.
With Michelle doing a soft touch herself, 70 kilos, she moved that easy.
Very well done here. Oh, I just realized our spotting and loading crew, their shirts have the plates and their weights on the back. That is quite convenient. I might need more of these. Lauren, 82.5 kilos for her second.
And we have Lacey on platform 1 with 80 kilos.
And the subtotals are shaking up quite nicely. We are actually pretty close. We have many lifters in platform 2 sitting around the
Come on, Lacey.
200s.
She missed her third bench, but the spotters caught it beautifully. Erin up next with 82.5.
Sabra here, 90 kilos. Again. Oh yeah,
Erin with
come
the
on,
grind.
come on, nice.
Locked
And you know,
out.
typically near those max effort benches, you will see maybe one arm lead across the other, and this is why, you know, people say powerlifting, you just be hitting squat, bench, and deadlift, but no, we also do hit our bodybuilding movements, and you can see how it pays off, especially on tough singles like these.
It's that one extra accessory that it'll
Really
matter in the
matters,
long
yeah.
run.
Technique can only take you so far.
Right.
At
Because
the
you
end
need
of
the
the day, your
strength.
muscles gotta lift it. You lift heavy rocks.
Mass moves mass. That is maybe the only smooth brain part of the sport.
If you're big, you will. If you're strong, you will be strong.
Suzanne's with a grind. Come on, Suzanne.
Nice. Will she get the lift there?
I think she'll get it. She
Looks like
okay.
it was. I believe I see yellows there, so that might be for up and down motion. Again, cannot have up and down motion in any of the 3 lifts, actually. Has to be one single continuous movement. Stephanie with 90 kilos here for her second attempt.
On platform 1, we're moving on to our next flight.
Now, I believe we have a record coming up on platform 2 with a third attempt. No spoiler, but I see a number.
And it's there. Lauren with her first attempt on bench, 70 kilos.
It feels like every year records are being pushed. This is amazing.
Lauren smokes the first attempt. That just goes to show how fast the sport's growing. Every year,
I agree.
records are being broken.
And, I think it's amazing because you think about the more lifters currently competing see that records are being broken. I think it's like a rising tide lifts all ships sort of situation where everyone's suddenly empowered. They see that that wall is no longer a wall. And it's like, okay.
So what is the human limit?
What is the human limit? We don't know. We don't know what the human limit is.
We still don't know.
We were seeing dots getting broken every year at the international level.
Right. I mean, take Joe Bornstein, for example.
Bornstein
900 kilos at...
basically broke the 4-minute mile equivalent.
Yeah.
And I feel like every single competitor in powerlifting has realized that there is still so much more.
Mopisola smokes her first attempt with 75 kilos on the bar.
Kristen here, taking a self-hand off her 97.5. Oh, yeah. Kristen looks like she has a big third now. Don't know if she's taking it easy, but she walks off nonchalant. Another day at work.
Another day in the office. Belinda with 77.5 kilos on the bar.
97.5 keys here for Winona.
Belinda runs off.
And a lot of our lifters here, you can see using wrist wraps, not using wrist wraps. Again,
it's all preference. You're going to hear us say that a lot.
I mean, people forget. Just because it's theoretically the easiest doesn't mean it's going to work. I'm sure there's a way I could twist that to make that sound motivating. But as Winona hits her second there, so far, Flight B on Platform 2 has not missed a single bench attempt. Amazing attempt selection here. I only see green like I'm at the grocery store.
It's a fresh lawn right there.
Huh?
It's a fresh mowed lawn right there.
Oh, yeah. Eric saved my poor joke. Again, wrist wraps, I think it is a matter
Sarah
of
with
preference.
her good first attempt. Lily up next, 82.5 kilos.
And you can see here our lifters taking their time to communicate with the spotter. And, shout out the spotter that's doing the lift off because that is a stressful position to be in.
That's a lot of pressure on the spotter.
A lot of pressure, but they're doing their best and they're doing it really well. So, again, thank you to our spotting and loading crew.
Lily with a really good arch. And a quick press. Great opener.
And as you can see here, Robin demonstrating again within the rule book, you are allowed to set up with your feet on the bench as long as by the time you start the lift, they're on the ground. Come on!
Let's go!
Valiant effort there. Still only missing out on, I believe, 2.5 kilos. Very easily able to be made up on deadlift.
Alexia with 82.5. Solid setup. Self unrack. And a quick press. Great lift.
Now, again, when it comes to the range of technique here, I think that also speaks to the range of coaching we have and different ways of training that work for everyone here. Speaking of coaches, shout out to Team War, a local
native to Georgia.
Local to Georgia, contributed, very much to how the sport has grown here in the state.
Madison Lauren with both wide stances on bench.
I know Eric is beaming seeing that. He is a wide stance supporter.
I love wide stance.
Eric and his unconventional ways. Eric and his big bench prop.
If you ever meet me, do not ask me for powerlifting advice.
And 92.5 here for Kitandu. We're pushing into some. We are pushing past the 200-pound range for bench. Several 200-pound plus benches on the day.
Jennifer setting up. And a good lift off.
Let's go. Good time. Yup. Nice.
It's an easy first attempt. So I believe the USAPL have changed some bench. There's one bench rule that's been changed, and that is your head coming off the bench.
Interesting.
And so I think a lot of people are used to just keeping their head on the bench, which
During the press, yeah.
so you'll see most, if not all, people just keep their head on the bench. But there will be some who lift their head off the bench, which
Right.
helps a lot.
Previously would have been a violation, but it's good to see. You know, the rules are changing every year. So as the sport grows, the USAPL has been amazing at keeping up with it and adapting the rules.
Megan, a little bit of a slow opener, but still good lift.
Stephanie gets 1 red, but 2 whites, all you need. And here we are getting ready. 95.5 keys. Like I mentioned before, you can only take 0.5 kilo jumps if you're attempting a national record. And I believe we are going to see a national record attempt here. $95.5. What does that impact?
What is it? Let's do the quick math.
I think 210, 211.
It is
95.5.
in between 210 and 215.
Sabra
Probably 212.
pressing it.
And Judith with the
He
easy
gets the
opener.
rack command. Now again, the center refs here can give the rack command whenever they see the lift is not going to be completed. I believe it's up to their discretion there, and oftentimes that is because you don't want the lifter to overexert themselves,
Exactly.
get injured as well. Because I mean, as Eric can attest, when you're all amped up on adrenaline and caffeine, you're not. I mean,
You're
the
not
last thing
yourself.
you're thinking about is your body. You're thinking about how much you can push. It's a crazy feeling.
Lauren up next with 72.5 on the bar.
Kristen here, 102.5. Our last 2 benches have been misses. Can she save the streak? And no, it's a miss here. However, that wraps up. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
There's one more bench.
One
here
more bench
platform
on
2.
platform 3.
Lauren with a good bench. She made up for her first attempt, I believe.
Winona capping off our bench on platform 2 with 102 kilos. That is 226. Bigger than the big old 2 plates.
Bigger than what high school kids are now hitting at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Mo Pasola with 80 kilos on the bar.
Still very impressive bench here. Let's go. Come on.
Come on, grind.
Right
Fortunately,
there,
she
right
didn't
off
get
the
it.
chest. That sticking point is tough to get through. And that is it for bench on platform 2. Thank you for all of you that were tuning in to watch. We will now enter another 10-minute intermission as we get ready for the 3rd event, the deadlifts. And we are looking at how our
And Mo
subtotals-
Pasola misses her second attempt on bench.
on subtotal on platform 2. We are seeing right now the leader is Stephanie, 285. But I do see some big deadlifts in the openers. That could shake up.
Belinda with 82.5 kilos on the bar. Easy press. We still have a ways away to go on platform 1. We're still only on second attempts.
Platform 1, obviously a longer flight. Many more lifters.
Sarah up next with 82.5 kilos. From the handler and coach side of things, what usually goes in your mind? I know you've handled a few athletes before.
Yes. I've only ever handled one. Shreyas, if you're watching this, I know you're not watching this, but I remember. It's tough. I think a lot of credit as
Sarah smokes the second attempt, 82.5.
A lot of credit goes out to our handlers and coaches. They are taking care of everything behind the scenes to make sure our lifters can have as stress-free of a day besides just lifting.
Right. It's almost like the handler and the coach, they're the brain, and the lifter is the brawn.
Yep. But we do also have some athletes that are self-handled.
Yes.
Which is, honestly, that is amazing. It is so much to do with from like a mental gymnastics standpoint. But having a great handler can matter, especially if you're trying to fight for placement.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to, hit a certain dot score, hit a PR, choose attempts in an unbiased way. Definitely a lot there.
Lily with a very wide bench grip. And an easy press.
Very easy press for a second there. Come on. Throw some weight on the bar. Well, throw some more weight on the bar. It's already a lot.
Especially at 9:37 in the morning.
Yeah, 9:37 in the morning, I'm like still in bed. That's not true.
In the bed taking meetings.
Yeah. Come on, Alexia here, 87.5. Alexia not using wrist wraps. I think one of our more rare occurrences.
And our beloved
here.
Gino in the frame.
Oh yeah, Gino. Gino been at all the big meets in the USAPL. Bringing that live energy.
With the press, quick press. Good job, Alexia.
Gino always has that flair about him. It's amazing.
I've heard he has a pretty interesting history on how he got involved with the USAPL.
I'm not aware.
But apparently, he just randomly volunteered for a meet, and he had no idea what it was.
And now he's become
a living legend in the powerlifting community.
Yeah. So, shout out Gino. You will never be your commitment to the powerlifting will always be appreciated.
Madison with a strong press. Wonder what kind of jump she's going to make. And yeah, so far we've just been seeing very conservative jumps on bench on platform 1. Nothing too crazy.
So a lot of green, very few missed attempts compared to squat. At least
as it should be, I think.
I agree, yes.
It's like a bell curve. Almost.
Almost, yes.
That's a horrible analogy. Because I think deadlift, you're also going to see a lot more misses. And Megan with a good second attempt. That's how a second attempt should move. 100 kilos for Jennifer.
Once again, shout out to our
221 pounds.
to Barbell Productions here for helping run the technology side of this and the media side of this all so smoothly. I think one of the biggest things in powerlifting from a technology side has been how the overlays and live streams have been getting better. A lot more information for lifters at home, more for anybody watching to be able to watch. Also, if you are a lifter, be sure to order the media package from Barbell Productions. They probably have some of the highest quality stuff I've ever seen. And I can tell you, being here in the backstage, they are running around frantically to get the best angles of you. So definitely support Barbell Productions.
Jennifer with a perfect second attempt.
And Judith here, 105, small, 2.5 kilo jump. In the Americana colorway, I believe that is what it's called. The red, white, and blue.
In honor of July 4th coming up.
I know
Speaking of
July 4th is coming up. Very, very appropriate. Come on.
How ironic how we're lifting in kilos. Oh, what a good second attempt.
You know, Eric, it's because kilograms are the scientific unit.
Powerlifting isn't science-based.
Now, just so everyone knows, the plates that we use for powerlifting, they're not just fancy for vanity. They are calibrated plates with extreme amounts.
They're calibrated plates with extreme precise measurements.
I don't really know. I don't actually recall specifically what they're calibrated to, but I believe I think 3 or 4 decimal places. It's
yes.
very
It's very precise.
Very precise. So,
the numbers that they're lifting are actually the numbers that they're lifting.
Yeah, there's no guesswork. And unfortunately, you know, plates that you might see at a commercial gym, is it really 45 pounds?
Not all the time.
Not really, yeah.
But when you say you can bench 77.5 kilos, you can say you bench 77.5 with certainty.
With certainty.
As Lauren hits 77.5 kilos.
That's right.
Mopasola with 80, retaking her second attempt. Can she get it? The suspense.
Let's go. Come on, let's hit the third.
Come on, grind, push. And that is a miss. Sarah up next with 85 kilos.
$85 kilos. You're very heavy third attempts here for the bench press. We are less than 5 minutes away from deadlifts on platform 2.
Getting ready for the main event.
Oh yeah, I love the deadlift.
Sarah getting ready to bench 85 kilos. The equivalent of the weight of a spotted seal.
My goodness. You know, especially as we get into deadlifts, you're going to talk about some heavy weight.
And that was the easy bench by Sarah,
Eric and I
honestly.
will try our best to offer context in physical sense.
We'll offer context in many different ways. We'll do sports context. We'll do animal context.
We'll do animals.
Business. Belinda with 87.5 kilos.
87.5 kilos. That is a little bit more than the weight of a white-tailed deer. She is pressing a white-tailed deer off of her chest. You know, talk about superhuman strength there. Unfortunately unable to today. But see, that's the thing with powerlifting again. Strength can be fickle when it comes to how it expresses.
And there's so many variables that go into it, too.
So many variables, yeah.
They're lifting early in the morning. And these athletes got up early to come here.
Lifting
and
early.
So the amount of carbs you intake.
Cramps.
Right. Cramps, hydration. It's all different in the morning versus later in the day.
Later in the day. So much to take care of. Especially, I don't know how many of our athletes are cutting into their weight classes today.
And Lily with 90 kilos on the bar. The weight of a mountain goat.
The weight of a mountain goat. Will she press the mountain goat? And
Easy
the mountain
press.
goat has been pressed.
The mountain goat has been pushed.
Amazing work there.
Alexia up next with 92.5.
$92.5 kilos.
Closest to the weight of and addicts?
I need to double check. I need to fact check Eric's references here.
I am a trustworthy source.
Still very big benches here. These attempts.
Right.
Getting ready to cross into the 100+ kilo range. I'm so sorry about this.
And Alexia with 3 white lights.
3 white lights. Congratulations. I believe, is she 3 for 3 on bench?
She is 3 for 3.
3 for 3 on bench. Actually, she's
Right now she's 5 for 6.
5 for 6. Amazing.
And just for context, it is very hard to have a perfect meet.
Yeah, it's very, especially at the national level, you know, there's, again, so much that can go on. I mean,
so
like,
far, it looks like
I don't think I've ever gone 9 for 9. That's just me, though. I'm not a good lifter.
I'm not a good lifter either. I've never gone 9 for 9. And Madison with a great press. We're seeing some pretty easy presses. Do you think they're saving up energy for the deads?
I believe so. Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe they're just having a better day than they've imagined.
That could also very well be the case.
Yeah. And to those watching the live stream, if you are supporting an athlete on stream right now, give us some fun facts and we'll shout them out. Always ready to provide support for our lifters watching back on this stream. I know powerlifters love to watch back on live streams and collect footage for their
For the gram.
for their
I know
meet
I've
recap.
done that.
And you can see here on platform 2 is about to be underway with deadlifts in 15 seconds.
And Megan failing her 3rd attempt. We have Jennifer up next with some big weight on the bar. (102.5 kilos). About 226 pounds. 225.97 pounds to be exact. Pressing almost the weight of a marsh deer.
Claudia with an easy 100 kilo opener. And Jennifer unable to get 102.5 keys there on platform 1. I believe we only have one more press on platform 1 and then we are good. And walking out to 112.5 kilos. Now, we'll probably see a mix of both the conventional and sumo deadlift stances. Both are valid in powerlifting by the rule book. Both are preference. And with a very strong 112.5 Ks and putting the weight down gently there. Probably about to see the most weight lifted on the deadlift here typically in powerlifting. As we move on to 120 for Tammy. 120 for Tammy. 2 reds if you don't count the collar. And Judith, unfortunately missing 107 there. And bench is wrapped up with on platform 1. Platform 1 subtotals are looking pretty close. Our leading subtotal there is by Judith. Not too far behind is Megan. I'm sure that will shake up once deadlifts have commenced. Tammy here walking out to 120 kilos. And now the white powder you see on our lifters' legs, that unfortunately is not chalk. That is baby powder. And now the purpose of that is just to help the bar move up a lot smoother on the legs and not have as much friction. So novice mistake, chalking your legs and baby powder in your hands will do the complete opposite and probably give you a bad deadlift day. But that is what the white powder is. It is baby powder. And Tiffany getting ready to walk out here to 165. Huge opener. 364 pounds. Getting ready to walk out here. And Tiffany, our first sumo puller, I believe. Taking her time to hinge. Wedges in. A little slow off the floor, but easy otherwise. And sumo tends to be that way, but very good way to, very well done to stay patient. As Jamie gets ready for 167.5 kilos. Jamie in the all-white fit. Taking her time. And she is using the hook grip here. Double overhand grip. Eric is quite the fan of hook grip. That's another difference you can see here in the deadlift, whether you choose to do an over-under grip or a hook double overhand grip could be valid. Iris gets 175 ready and loaded up. And it seems Jamie missed her opener there on a technicality. Typically the most common technicality that we see lifters miss on deadlift is either a soft knees or lockout or missing the down command. That is a command they have to wait for and hold the bar for. So Iris here ready. Very well done. And pulling that beltless is impressive. You might see some lifters pull these weight beltless as well, but very well done.
For Anna, the lift is good.
Lena coming up with her first attempt. I guess not. Lena with her first attempt at 190 kilos. Already breaking the 400 range, which is crazy. And that moved fast. You got to call 911 on her for how fast that moved. The cops can't catch that. 2 white lights, and that's all we need. Claudia up next with 107.5 kilos on the bar. Second attempt. 107.5 or 236.99 pounds. And she has a solid lockout. And she lowered that very delicately on the ground. And up next with 117.5 kilos. On deadlifts, you can have, there are multiple things that you can do in terms of your grip. As you can see with Ann using a mixed grip there, a solid lift and a solid lockout, and she lowers it very, very softly. But also, as I was saying before, you can use mixed grip or hook grip, and the main difference between the two, I would say, is it is easier to hold on to the bar when you do hook grip. However, it is a lot more painful on the thumbs because you have to wrap all your fingers around your thumbs, and your thumbs is what's mainly holding the bar. But with mixed grip, you don't have that problem. However, I think grip becomes more of an issue when you get to heavier weights with mixed grip. And Tammy, with a great second attempt. Great lockout. And so far, we've mainly seen conventional on deadlift, and that is another thing too. There's a conventional stance and there's a sumo stance. Jamie up next with 167.5 kilos on the bar. And as you can see here, she is using hook grip and moves the bar with authority. And what do the judges say? 3 white lights. Redeems her first attempt.
Strong lockout there for Ailey. The lift is good. We have 3 minutes to start on platform 1. Lowest.
So on platform 2, we're starting to see the placing starting to really form. And there's a little bit of a race going on. Tiffany up next with 177.5 kilos.
And it looks like some big jumps here.
Well, so just to catch you up, I was just talking about sumo stance, conventional stance. I don't know if you already talked about that. Hook grip, mixed grip.
I did not. I mentioned it, but I did not go into depth, as I'm sure.
And Tiffany pulls mixed grip with authority.
177.5, looking, maybe she's going to cross into, yeah, looks like her third attempt is in for 185.
And now we're having a pretty tight race between Tiffany, Iris, and Lena, I believe.
They could change their attempts here to see who can pull ahead. Iris, beltless puller.
Beltless. And conventional.
It's kind of crazy.
Let's see how this moves.
That is not easy at all. Iris,
come on.
Good second there. A little slow off the floor, but
as a second attempt should move, I believe.
As a second attempt should move, yep. Eric, are you team conventional or team sumo?
There's actually a third legendary stance.
Oh no, I fear
that we
I've
have
opened
not
a bag.
talked about. And that is called the froggy stance. Or as I like to call it, the carjack stance.
Oh god.
But we're not going to open that can of worms right now. I will open it though if we see someone later in the day do it.
Oh yeah. Lena here getting hyped up. Now with deadlifts, I love to see it. I think getting hyped up, getting excited is definitely very important. As Lena unable to break.
Could not break the floor. And it seems like she's more of an explosive lifter.
Exactly.
There are differences too between that. There's explosive lifters and there's very patient lifters.
Again, it comes down to how you can do the lift and personal preference there, but.
And now we're getting started on platform 1 very soon.
Unfortunately, a no lift for Claudia there.
Claudia
jumped ahead a little bit
with the solid lockout.
Now, one rule to be aware of, especially in the conventional deadlift where I think it's more susceptible, is ramping. What is ramping?
Yes, so ramping is when you use your quads to assist you with getting the bar up. So typically from the side view, you'll see the lifter lean back a little bit.
Right.
And the bar riding up on the thighs. And so you can't have that. No assistance from your quads.
Yeah, right, exactly. You can't use it as a ramp. Ramping, hitching.
And moving that bar with authority.
Wow. And
And she
22
missed
and a
it.
half. Looks like she missed it from the side and on the center.
Lois with a solid first attempt.
Have to have your body, your knees, everything fully locked out.
No soft knees. Can't have that. Susan with 92.5 kilos on the bar. With the easy pull.
And
What
Tammy,
a great
is
Come
she able
on,
to
Tammy.
holds
A
it
great
tall
lockout.
and strong? What will the judges say? And that's
Three
whites. That's
white
three whites.
whites.
It's got to be 3 whites. Great day for Tammy overall. I think Tammy may have gone 9 for 9.
Has she?
Oh,
Nine
yeah.
for- nine
oh,
for
yeah.
nine
9
day.
for 9. Impressive.
We've seen our first 9 for 9.
Great work.
What a great start to the day. Seeing 9 for 9 makes me happy.
Tammy might be our only eligible 9 for 9 lifter actually on platform 2.
Michelle smokes that. Speedy.
Jamie here getting ready for 182.5. Right above the 400-pound mark. Big deadlift here.
She smoked her second attempt, so will she smoke the third? How much of a jump did she make? 15-kilo jump.
That's a huge jump, but again, on deadlift,
It makes sense, though.
on deadlifts can definitely make sense.
And she still smokes it.
Oh, yeah. Jamie with the hook grip, very well executed there. And that's a good lift, thumbs up.
Hooker builds character.
That's character.
What does Brenna have? 125, easy.
Deadlift's definitely the most hype event, I would say, for a powerlifting meet.
Easily.
You know, kind of tough because it's the end of the day. Everyone could be a little bit tired, but come on. Third deadlifts,
Nothing gets more hype than that.
nothing gets more hype than that, yeah.
You know, we've been seeing a lot of conventional lifters today.
I agree,
in
a
this
lot of
session.
conventional lifters, a lot of different setups too. Tiffany taking 185 here. I believe that's
Suzanne smokes
407.
137. So that might be the maybe third, fourth sumo stance I've seen so far.
Tiffany kind of froggy. Oh, I'm just unable to get it off the ground there. Breaking this.
Good effort, though.
Very good effort. Tiffany's still having a good day.
7 for 9.
7 for 9. Not leaving too much on the table.
Catherine up next on platform 1, 145 kilos, and smokes it.
Again, congrats to all our lifters that have finished competing this session. Now all the well-deserved break. Maybe a well-deserved goal next week. Iris here. The crowd is getting lively behind us.
Lacey, 147.5,
195 for
and a
Iris.
solid lockout.
And the lift is good. Iris only a teen 2 as well.
As a teen 2, I wasn't even thinking about touching a barbell. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what a barbell
I
was.
didn't even know what a barbell was. And Lena here getting ready to reattempt 202. We are behind Lena. Missed her second.
Can
off
she
the
get her
fourth.
third attempt?
Can she get
And
her
Melissa
third
with a quick pull.
Come on, Lena.
Wonder if the crowd will scream.
Oh, and Lena
Aw.
unable to break the floor there. Very tough.
And it's okay. We have those days.
And Lena showing respect to our refs here, thanking all of them for their great show sportsmanship. As we move into flight B on platform 2.
Jennifer with a little bit of a slow lockout. However, off the ground speed was very good. I don't know if we talked about sticking points yet on deadlift, but there are many different sticking points, to be honest.
I have not, but yeah, no, sticking points on the deadlift are very, very dependent on the person. Typically conventional, more towards the lockout. Sumo, more towards the ground, more lockout, depending on the
I think conventional is more off the ground.
Depends how you do the lift. I
Yeah.
think. It really depends.
But for sure, the lockout is always going to be
Tough, yeah.
primarily the main sticking point. And Aaron hits 170 like it's nothing.
The deadlift, just like all the other lifts, very dependent on leverages. If you got long arms,
You're in for a treat.
huh?
Treat?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You're in for a treat if you have long arms. You'll be a good deadlifter.
You will be a
most
good
likely.
Most.
Do not take my word for it. We will give you with 90% certainty you'll be a good
90%
deadlifter.
certainty. Yeah, you have the Eric seal of approval. Sabro walks out to 130 here. One rule to keep in mind: you have to wear deadlift socks in order to perform the deadlift.
Correct. Lois with another solid pull.
Deadlift socks.
Very second attempt-esque.
You know, I believe they're knee-high socks. I don't know
They have to be knee-high
They
socks.
have to be knee-high socks, yeah. So you'll see lifters switch socks between events, actually.
And we've seen lifters actually forget to put on deadlift socks.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And have to run back.
I remember my good friend Ben Carter at the Georgia States last year forgetting his deadlift socks. So you'd be surprised. A lot of these small rules, you know, you forget in the heat of the moment. But Susan, I like Susan's singlet.
What kind of singlet is she wearing?
As Robin hit 140.
Come on, Susan. Lock it out. Nice. And the average human just talks about, if you deadlift, you're going to blow out your back. But Susan's a great example of how the deadlift, done correctly, is not a dangerous movement at all.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of this commercial gym propaganda. You know,
The amount of slander that deadlifts have gotten over the years is
you want to
crazy.
slander that powerlifting gets is insane. Again, safe sport. And as long as you train things smartly, which all of our athletes are doing, because obviously they're at this level, the risk of injury is low. As Kristen smokes her opener.
And Michelle with a great second attempt. And yes, Kristen with a great opener.
Crazy. It's actually crazy. Yeah, I mean, your back's gonna get involved. As long as you keep good form, which all of our lifters here today have been very good examples of across the country lifts, you're not gonna hurt yourself.
Brennan with a solid second attempt.
Winona, easy opener there.
Another sumo puller.
Our spotters and loaders here, oh my, they are as speedy as the hit.
Speed of light. I think they need to get
cars,
pulled over.
like Lightning McQueen's pit change crew. They're just
Ka-chow.
chowing you. Just like
Suzanne.
they're cleaning the bars.
Solid lift. Solid second attempt.
Katandu here with, I believe, a 402 opener, conventional. Oh yeah,
That is strong.
that is a very,
that is strong.
That's a pretty conventional too.
Very pretty conventional.
Very well done.
If you saw the conventional deadlift in the dictionary,
Yeah, there would be a picture of her.
Yep.
Picture of her. Now, Eric, I think you got to pull out the reference weights.
The reference plates. All right. I think for the third attempt, definitely, we got to pull out our references. And Lacey with a solid second attempt. Stephanie Scoville with a good opener. Speaking of Scoville, if you're in Atlanta, there's a great restaurant called Scoville Hot Chicken.
You guys should check it out.
Great Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. With a great first attempt, 3 white lights.
187.5 caps off our heaviest opener so far for deadlifts on platform 2.
And Catherine with a good second attempt. A little bit of a shaky lockout. Now, Lauren, I think she deserves a reference.
All of our lifters do, but let's see what a reference here is.
A New Zealand sea lion.
That's kind of big. That is actually
188 kilos is the New Zealand sea lion. Now, I don't know what a New Zealand sea lion looks like.
What? She's picking a new... Oh,
she picked it up with ease.
With ease. That looked like the bar.
She would win in a fight with the New Zealand sea lion.
I agree. Pick that off the bar. Moving on to our seconds here on platform 2. 130 keys for Wendy on the bar.
And now Melissa going up for her second attempt. Took the spotters and loaders to clean up the bar for a little bit. So there might have been a possibility of a lifter maybe tearing a callus on the bar, and there may have been some blood. But it happens.
Obviously, it happens. It happens a lot more than you think, especially...
And Melissa with a strong second attempt. 160 kilos. Let's pull out a reference for this one, too. An Argali.
Eric, you're just saying things. I don't know what these are. Eric is educating me more on, like, fauna now than the actual weights being lifted. I'm all here for it. Talk about National Geographic and powerlifting collaboration.
Imagine. National Geographic comes to USAPL Raw Nationals. Jennifer, come on, with a strong lockout. One of those sticking points as we were talking about before. 165 kilos. She lifted a blue wildebeest. I know what that one is.
Thank you, Eric. 137 kilos, light work for Sapper there. Could be seeing some bigger jumps in the future. But
now Erin, preparing herself, getting the crowd hype. $175 kilos on the bar. With a great wedge.
Robin with 162 here. Huge deadlift to set up.
And a good second attempt. Very, very controlled.
Amazing work, yeah.
A little bit of a grind, but there's still room in the tank. And now we're on to third attempts, where we'll be pulling out all the big guns for our references.
All reference weights. Third attempts here. The crowd is getting live. You can hear the screams and everything. Special shout out to all our in-person attendees. Sitting through a powerlifting meet requires a lot of patience, but they are bringing the energy for every single competitor. As Lois, does she complete the lift?
It looked like she did.
What will the judges say?
If I was a ref, I would.
Yes. Great lift for Lois there. And that's a good lift. Kristen with 167.
Lock
Slow
it
off the
out.
floor, locks it out. Hips through, well done. Don't know how much more she has for her third attempt. I think she has at least
maybe
two
like
and a half.
2.5.
2.5 to 5 keys.
Susan, come on, Susan. Oh. That was a good fight. That was a good fight
for sure, yeah.
Props to Susan. Give her a round of applause for those of you at home.
Most definitely. Winona here with 172.5. Very, very smooth second attempt selection there. Very well done. And Stephanie here getting ready for 190. for her second. Pretty big jump, 7.5 Gs. 190 kilograms, that is 419 pounds. Pushing into the mid 400 range. No doubt.
And Michelle, 137.5 kilos. Come on, lock it out. Good lockout. Very, very aesthetic looking deadlift. She
Definitely
got 2 reds.
completes her.
So she probably had soft knees at the top.
Very likely. Stephanie gets 3 whites there for her second. Very good attempt selection there. Heading into our heaviest 2 seconds for this flight on platform 2. Kitandu taking 195, that is 430 pounds. Lifters here obviously taking their time up to set up the bar. You know, as it rolls around on the carpet, it gets pushed in different places.
Now Brenna with the bar, 140 kilograms on the bar. Lifts it with authority.
And Kitandu here with 195, getting ready to pull. Hinge, grabs the bar, wedges in. Unable to complete it, unfortunately.
Suzanne with 147.5 kilos on the bar.
We're getting ready to walk out to our first 202-pound deadlift. Also a successful attempt.
With a good pull. I think that moved easier than her second attempt, if I
I
remember
think
correctly.
so too, yeah. I think so too. I agree.
Now Lauren, 202.5, breaking the 400 range. Well over the 400 range.
202.5 kilos. 446 pounds, I believe.
Close to the weight of a golf cart.
Closer to the weight of a motorcycle, actually.
Lacey Mullen with
goodness, Lauren. What a
162
good
kilos.
second. And
Lifting
Lauren's
the weight.
coach is ecstatic. Very well done. That is our first 200 kilo plus deadlift here on platform 2. As we head into our 3rd attempts here, ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to the cleanup crew. It's very important that they wipe off the bar for 3rd attempts.
For sure, yeah. You don't want any sort of residue that could negatively impact another lift coming up. Wendy unable to break it past the knees. And on conventional, I think we see the sticking point right there typically. Right at the knees. Sabra getting ready for her 3rd.
With their pre-deadlift ritual.
Gotta have a good pre-deadlift ritual. Gotta get in the right
162
headspace
kilos.
there.
Come on. Ah, she couldn't get too far up the ground. And what do we have here? Sabra Edwards, 142.5 kilos.
That is close to the weight of an adult tiger off the ground.
Close to the weight of an industrial printer.
I've only seen one of those, and it wasn't the printer. So, Robin with 165 pounds here. Man, these are some crazy numbers that
With
they're pulling out
170,
here.
I know. The human body is an amazing thing.
I agree. I think that's like one of the best parts of powerlifting.
Jennifer with a grind. Get it. Oh, she didn't get a
Unfortunately,
mess.
yeah. You know, a lot of our lifters here today can say that they've pulled over 400 pounds
Easily.
before noon
One.
on a Friday.
Robin with 165.
Good lift
I believe she
there.
hits it. 165 kilos. Almost the weight of a motorcycle.
Kristen with 170 on the bar as Melissa gets ready to pull 172, but unfortunately cannot make it budge. And Kristen, 170 on the bar. Kristen with 170 on the bar. The clock is running. Is she going to time out here? I believe Kristen did time out, so.
Aaron getting really hyped. We can hear the crowd getting hyped
Oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah. Lifters can time out here as well, typically, you know, also to give other lifters some more time to relax, help the flight out. Aaron wedges in, breaks the floor. Can she lock it out? Oh, and she loses balance there, unfortunately.
Good effort, good effort.
Very strong effort there. Just a few inches short. And we are seeing here Winona with 180 on the bar. She had missed 172.5. Can she secure 180 here? 402. 402 pounds on the bar. Let's go. Come on, Winona.
So let's see how are the placings shaking up right now.
And Winona wedges in. She breaks the floor. Can she lock it out? Yes, she does. I think that's a good lift.
We're now going to our first attempt on our second flight on platform 1.
Winona is ecstatic there. Well done. Amazing day by Winona.
Belinda with 145 kilos on the bar.
Forecasted. Here's some heavy rock in the back.
Belinda with an easy opener. Madison with 150 keys on the bar.
Oh, it's Lincoln Park. Even better.
It's about the weight of 2 sheep.
2 sheep. Interesting. Katanu here, ready to reattempt 195. She had unfortunately not gotten it past her knees. Can she get the revenge pull here? Let's see. Katanu pulling this would secure 4th for her.
Madison easily pulling her first attempt. Walks off nonchalantly.
Oh yeah.
And Lily with a sumo stance.
Come on, Katanu.
You know, for me, deadlift is probably the most nerve-wracking lift for me.
I agree.
Oh my gosh.
That
was
fast. I don't think
She was speeding.
I don't
That's
think
like-
I can move the bar that fast.
So for context, if she was on the highway and the speed limit is 55, she was going 90.
Yeah, you need a speed ticket. You need a speed ticket there. Come on now. Stephanie 195 here. Stephanie looking to close out. Now, does Stephanie have a perfect day so far? Let us quickly check. No, she did miss her 3rd squat, but this could be a 8 for 9 day. Come on, Stephanie. Wedges in here. Breaks the floor. Up, lock it out. Oh my goodness.
What a lockout.
Does she get the down? What patience? What will I just say? Oh yeah, 3 whites. Amazing work there by Stephanie.
And on the other platform, Sarah smoking her first attempt.
What a all-around lift monster there. Very good lifts on all 3 lifts. Very good attempts on all 3 lifts. Lauren here closing out deadlifts with 212.5 kilos. That is our heaviest deadlift I believe we have seen so far on both these platforms.
That's wild to me.
212. That is 469, almost 470 pounds.
3 sheep. Oh my gosh, Jennifer
That's
smokes
a lot of
that.
sheep. So many sheep.
Have you ever played Catan?
No.
I don't remember the animal. I think it was sheep.
You think it was sheep? Well, I think Lauren's about to show us what she can do. 212 is an insane third attempt here. Wedges in.
Good wedge.
Oh my
And a
goodness,
good
can she
pull.
lock it out?
Oh,
it looks like she
man.
loses balance there just on the
Good
ascent.
attempt. Good attempt.
Still a really good attempt there. And that wraps up deadlifts on platform 2 and lifting for platform 2 for this session, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
And on platform 1, we got Alexia with a very, very, very narrow conventional stance.
I know that makes Eric happy.
I've forsaken conventional. But a very easy lift by Alexia.
Very easy lift there. Very well done.
Up next,
All our lifters.
Opasola. Easy opener. There's a very underrated part of the deadlift too that a lot of people probably don't think about, and it is the carpet.
I agree. The carpet for sumo could be very, very helpful. You know, especially if you have a really wide stance or you're pushing out a lot.
Right. And same with bench too.
Same with bench. You really need that grip to help you give the stability. And
Judith with 170.
170 in that red, white, and blue.
Da, 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 da.
Judith takes her thirds. Let's see how platform 2 wrapped up on placements and totals.
Easy opener.
Looks like Iris secured first there, forecasted on platform 2. Both in Team 2 and Open taking 2 categories. For the 65 weight class. And for the 70 weight class, we had Stephanie and Robin securing those places in this session so far. For those that are unaware, the USAPL did recently redo those weight classes. 65 and 70 are newer weight classes.
Right.
They did used to be, I want to say, 67 and a half.
Yes, 67 and a half, 75.
And I think, you know, again, very responsive decision by the USAPL to adjust these weight classes based on where people are weighing in. Because natural weights differ for each of our athletes. I think this is a big change.
Lauren coming up with 177 and a half pounds. Repping a prong bell, as we said earlier.
Prong belts, you know, definitely more flexible.
Ooh, easy,
fast.
easy.
For the deadlift especially, you know, might not require as much bracing as a squat, or the same way, right? You don't necessarily want to breathe as tightly as you can.
Megan up next.
And a lot of our lifters here, you can see they're doing a very small pull before they actually initiate their deadlift. What we like to call pulling slack. Excellent example there on Megan. What is pulling slack?
Pulling slack.
Eric,
So
like,
what-
slack does not exist.
Slack, are you talking about the work app? No.
No.
Well, slack is the amount of give that the bar has.
Right.
So when you pull onto the bar, when you hit a certain weight, the bar will start bending a little bit. And if you pull that out, one, it makes the deadlift a lot safer, and
Yeah.
two, for a lot of people, it makes the lift easier. I'm not in that boat for some reason. I'm a bad power lifter,
Eric is an
unlike these
anomaly.
athletes here today.
Eric is an anomaly. As
Belinda
Belinda
smokes
Is her hair
150.
matching her singlet? That's crazy.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is her hair color matching her singlet? I think I just noticed that.
Yeah.
That is what you call drip.
That is true. Fashion lifting.
There's a saying, fashion over function. However, A7 gives you both fashion
A7 gives you
and
both.
function.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That was a good one. Lily taking her time here. Missed her opener. Can she recover in the second?
She made a big jump, so I bet she can.
I bet you can, yep. Come on, Lily. Yup.
Let's go.
Light work there for Lily. Very well done.
Light work. Will she make another big jump? Who knows?
Maybe another big jump.
Find out in about 10 minutes.
Some very heavy seconds here.
160. How much is that? About
352 pounds
352?
off the top of my head.
You see, UV went to Georgia Tech, so he's really good at math.
No, Eric. I've just spent years looking at load the bar.
In Madison with a very easy pull.
Very easy pull there.
Still looks like a first attempt to me.
Sarah here. Music here getting a bit more.
It's starting to get bumpy in here. It's bumping.
Here. Yeah, the atmosphere is about to get turned.
It's intense. The system.
Oh yeah.
Now it's turning up.
Waking everyone up.
Wake up. Sarah with a calm approach.
Down. Very well leveraged for Sumo. Breaks the floor. Can she lock it out?
On.
Oh yeah.
Fast lockout.
Very nice. Very patient
That's like the
pull.
opposite of what we see many times where speed off the floor is great, but lockout's a little bit
very well
sticky.
done there technically.
But the complete opposite.
Very nice second attempt there as Jennifer gets ready for 170.
Bar is loaded for Jennifer.
Come on, Jennifer.
Now, Yugi, what's the white powder on their legs?
I had already explained. It is baby powder, not
Baby
chalk.
powder.
It's not chalk. Please do not chalk your legs. That would be a mistake.
Smooth.
That could have been her
That's
opener.
like buttery smooth.
That literally could have been
That
her
was
opener. Jennifer,
opener.
please.
RPE 5.
We need you to load like 40 kilos on that.
Have we
Maybe
done
not
RP
40.
Have we done RPE references?
I don't think we have. RPE, you might hear us say that. We'll definitely say it later on in our next streams, but RPE is like the scale of exertion that we use in powerlifting to rank.
Rate of perceived exertion, as it is called. Very narrow stance.
Very nice. Well done. 172.5. It looks a little slow, but I would say she has at least 5 to 10 pounds on that. Definitely.
Honestly, I think she has more, especially with the conventional.
That's true. Conventional always tends to look a little slower.
I think conventional, you can kind of just go 8 mode on that. Whereas sumo is a much more technical lift.
Sumo tends
Which
to
we
be
can
a
also
bit more
explain.
technical and less mental things to remember.
Which is why I can't sumo, because I have a smooth brain.
I have switched from sumo to conventional because, yeah. Judith here with 170, 7.5 keys, 7.5 kilo jump
That
from
is
her
big.
opener.
What is 177.5? Almost the weight of a little more than a full-grown llama.
Judith wedges in, slow off the.
Come on, lock it
sticks
out.
that lockout. Unable to complete that lockout. Will she be retaking an attempt? It looks like she will be.
I think the smart move would be to retake.
Yeah. Typically, you do, so another rule, very important. You cannot go down in weight after you miss an attempt. You can only load the same weight or increase the selection. So, again, very important thing to consider here for weight selection that our handlers and our lifters are aware of, I'm sure. Typically, I think if we miss on strength, you want to retake the same weight.
Mopasola with 180. Patient off the ground. Can she lock it out?
Does she lock it out?
Oh, okay.
And there are spotters quick to get there just in case. And shout out to our spotters here.
the amount of attentiveness that they need to have throughout the entire meet.
Ridiculous.
And for multiple sessions a day. I remember spotting and handling one time, and I was exhausted after just the squats.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, honestly, you need to train to be a spotter and loader, I think.
You do.
You got to put in the work. You got to have the same
I see
training
our
block.
spotters. I see our spotters. Our spotters looking kind of swole.
What do you mean swole? They're big. Look at them. They look strong.
They look strong. They're strong.
Lauren looking for the exact precise placement of her feet.
In the prong belt. Very nice sumo stance.
Very clean. 187.5. Can she break it? She broke it off the floor.
Goodness.
Fast lockout.
Lauren with one of the cleanest sumos I've seen so far as a junior lifter. Lauren, but this fight is actually all juniors on platform 1.
The future for powerlifting is bright. We got
The
juniors
future is
these
so
strong.
bright. So bright. Yep. That wasn't ridiculously fast. For those that are unaware, to be a junior in powerlifting, you have to be between the ages of 20 and 23. If you're younger, you're a teen. If you're older, you are either an open or a master's.
Megan with a great second attempt.
It's possible a lot of our junior lifters may have foregone competing at CNATs to compete here at Raw Nationals instead.
That is correct. The turnaround time, I believe CNATS was back in April, or Collegiate Nationals
Right,
was back
right.
in April.
So not too much time, but enough
It's
to
about a
build,
2-month
enough to build
turnaround.
around the prep, sort of.
It's very doable, but definitely not a lot of time.
Right, right.
You would have to have like perfect training variables.
Well, actually, I do know one of the athletes that will be competing at prime time, Jaden Lowe. The highest dots coming in to this meet, 577 dots.
577 as
That
an
is
82
on
and a
par
half.
with quite literally the world's best lifters for his weight class, and I believe he still has so much time to fill out the class in his age group. Looking forward to seeing him in prime time.
And Belinda, fashion and function,
Oh yeah,
smokes her third attempt.
and she's happy. Let's go. And Belinda,
She finished 7 for 9 of the day.
7 for 9. Very well done. Lily here, 170. The big 375 for her third attempt. Now, her second attempt moved really fast, so I think she has this.
Oh, I believe so too. 10 kilos, 22-ish pounds.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be a good third attempt selection. And the loader almost tripping over himself.
Hitting the bar, yep. Now, again, all the equipment provided by TSS. TSS, in my opinion, offering the best stiff bar, power bar to go through.
The knurling on a TSS is
The knurling-
very aggressive, which is good. It's
Very
a good
aggressive, no risk for slipping up on grip. Perfect amount of bend. Not too bendy, but just enough. Shout out TSS. The quality of their equipment is ridiculously good.
thing. Lily with 170 for her third attempt. 375. A little reminiscent of a little Jonathan Keiko shake.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Lily.
Oh, lock it out.
Nice.
Nice.
Convincing hold. What do the judges say?
I
That's
think
a
that
good
deserves 3 white
lift.
lights,
Let's
yes.
go.
I think we could ref.
All right, bro.
I just give everyone 3 white lights.
Everyone does deserve 3 whites in my heart.
I have a soft side.
Anyways, Madison with 170 on the bar. You know, interesting with the change of these weight classes, these 2 weight classes for our women lifters. I feel like some of our lifters may have either gone up or gone down.
Right.
How does gaining weight or cutting weight affect lifting?
That's actually a really good question. And we'll get to that
Madison.
after her third attempt.
Come on, Madison, smoke this third.
375. Come on.
What
She got
a
it past the knees.
Good conventional, locks it out.
She She knows she got that.
That was a perfect. And she's
Authoritative.
jumping with joy.
She
Let's
knows
go.
she has it.
Hopefully that was a
White
PR.
lights.
And if it wasn't a PR, if it was a PR match, that was pretty easy.
She could have gone.
At least she has like 5 kilos on there.
Yeah. Also, she might be able to break 400 with the conventional grind.
400 very soon, for sure.
Wait, back to your question about gaining or losing weight. I think it's very, very dependent on the person. Because people sit comfortably at different weights, right?
Exactly.
And so that gaining weight or losing weight will affect how you fit into your belt, how you fit into your knee sleeves,
Right.
and all these other factors. And so you could gain weight, but be a little bit uncomfortable with your belt, and that's going to affect how your deadlifts and squat go. You might not be able to lift a little bit more. But if you sit comfortably at a lower weight, it could work out just fine.
For sure, yeah. At the end of the day, you know, being weight classes are part of the sport, but it's whatever's the most comfortable to you that matters in the end.
And with a
Sarah,
patient
can she
lift,
lock it out?
lock it out, great lockout, and she
What?
holds onto the bar.
Will she get 3 whites? She's
I
waiting.
think she will.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on, yes, 3 white
Sarah
lines.
is hyped. I know how much that moment must mean. Lightheaded, tired, but you see 3 whites, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
You walk out to the back.
Oh yeah.
Alexia with 177 and a half.
Conventional in the building. Breaks the floor. Can she lock it out?
Lock it
Come on, come on, come on. Let's go.
Up.
Let's go.
Oh, she
yeah.
got it. She got it. I think she got it.
Got the down command. Let's
Give it
go.
to her. Give her 3 white lights.
Amazing thirds. So far, not a single third attempt has been missed in this flight.
That's impeccable.
And we're almost, we're halfway through.
And we're starting to, we're getting close to breaking 400. I think on the next attempt it is 390s. It is in the 400s. We will not tell you the weights. Stay tuned to find out.
We cannot spoil.
I have a bad habit of spoiling movies to my friends. It's because I get really excited, and I get really excited about powerlifting.
Unable to break the 4 there.
She did not break the 4. Still a good effort. Not the best day, but it happens every now and then.
Still, to be able to perform on this stage is an immense privilege and achievement in and of itself. So,
Right.
congratulations.
But even as in the junior 70 kilo class, she's
Still-
projected to be second.
Still amazing. Just top openers. Really makes you think as we have Jennifer ready to walk out to 180, taking even 10 kilo jumps. Just shy of the big 400 here. But
Solid off the ground speed, solid lockout speed. RPE 6.
RPE 6. Rate of perceived exertion at a 6. If I do say so myself.
And you can base RPE off of a couple different things, I think.
Bar speed.
Bar speed.
Exertion.
But
Yeah.
that's about it.
That's about it.
That's all we know.
Taking revenge on 180 here. Come on, you got
Can
this.
she get it? Can Mopasola get it?
Strong wedge.
Come on, get it
Breaks the
up.
floor. Can she lock it out?
Come on.
Okay,
She's getting it. She's
She
getting
locks
it.
it out?
Lock it out.
and I think that might be a good lift. I think that might be a good lift.
I hope
no
so.
up and down. Oh
It's
yeah,
a good
let's
lift.
go.
It's a good
Amazing lift.
Let's
Talk
go,
about
Mopasola.
leaving it all on the platform. What an amazing lift there.
That's what you call a New England Patriots comeback, like 28-3 against the Falcons, and I think the 2021 Super Bowl.
Leave it to Eric to have the NFL analogy ready. Lauren, 197.5, just shy of the big 200. Still, 435 pounds. Ridiculous amount of weight. Excited to see what this goes here.
So far, only one missed third attempt. Very, very high. Maybe I'll pull out some more sports references later.
Maybe. Lauren here, getting ready to walk out to 197. Mark is loaded on this. Lauren is running down the clock. She's not.
Lauren has very picturesque sumo here.
Miss Patient, as we like to call her.
What's up?
Miss Patient. Patient on the ground.
Lauren, slow off the floor. Oh my goodness.
And the patience pays off. Come on. She got it up.
If you want to search up a tutorial on what like the perfect sumo looks like, that might be it.
And 3 reds.
That was an insane patience off the floor.
But I believe she didn't have a full lockout. Soft lockout.
Soft lockout. Still
But still
really,
very,
really
very
good.
clean deadlift.
Very clean deadlift. I have no doubt she'll have that and cross 200 in the future, if not already in training, of course.
You just have to keep in mind that the lifters today are already tired from squat and bench. And so being able to pull out these deadlifts is still a feat in itself.
For sure. Megan
Oh, come on with the strong lockout.
locks out 205,
Strong
and Megan with
off
that,
the floor speed.
I believe, will secure first overall in the Raw Juniors for 70 and second in
Raw
the Open.
That is insane.
And that wraps up session 1 for day 2. Platforms 1 and 2, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for supporting our lifters. Thank you once again to Barbell Productions for being able to provide this live stream, and to all our sponsors for allowing this event to run. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Another world record attempt. World record attempt. Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of switching in and out. We got to make sure we have all international referees for world records. That's why you see these referees switching in and out. This is
And for those of you that are interested, if you want to leave the stream open, we will be announcing a Hall of Fame inductee in the next minute or two. So if that is something that you want to watch, keep the stream open and stay tuned. But otherwise, thank you all for watching our lifters. And we hope you have an amazing weekend, and tune in for more.
Here comes Chad Marsh. 341 pounds. The bar is ready. This is Chad Marsh.
in recognition of this advancement, we always like to take a moment to say thank you to all of our referees, and also the fact that they have made a commitment to their increased knowledge of the rules, their availability to be here at every meet, their contribution of their time, their knowledge, their expertise, and their continuing contribution to the sport and to the athletes. And so with that, Alex is officially taking off the gray tie, which is a national referee, and he's going to be presented with the blue tie, recognizing his Category 2 international referee status, as well as a name tag and a patch recognizing that. So again, put your hands together one more time. Thank you very much.
Hey, Kathy, don't leave.
Can we turn the music down, please, for a second? Good morning. Are you guys having fun? Come on, you gotta have some caffeine by now. Are you having fun? Awesome. My name is Heather Foss. I'm the executive director for USA Powerlifting. I'm also your national meet director. What that means is actually I'm responsible for you to have some fun and enjoy your time with USA Powerlifting. If you have complaints, you can come to me. If you're having a good time, you can come tell me. That would be great. So literally, if you need anything, I'm your girl, okay? But also for the past 3 years, it's been my pleasure to be your women's committee chair. A part of that is championing conversations, promoting women in USA Powerlifting and getting them to join in the fun of what we do here. And another part of that is we love to honor those who have come before us to build strength sports, in particular USA Powerlifting. And at Raw Nationals, we like to honor those recipients by inducting them into the Women's Hall of Fame. And so that's what we're going to do right now. This person that we are going to induct today is Deb Farrell. Deb, would you like to join me up here? She came all the way from Alaska to join us for this event. She's not only a national champion, she's been a world champion on multiple opportunities. She has been responsible for bringing women into this sport just by being an amazing person, an amazing athlete. She's coaching Special Olympian athletes to come into the sport as well. So we wanted to honor her today with a plaque. Larry's going to tell us a funny story, I think, and then we have a great video to show you of just a few of the accomplishments that she's had throughout her career with powerlifting.
Yeah, I had the honor to coach Deborah about 15 world championships. And for those of you who don't know, she held the American record multiple times and the world record. And she was really the first woman in the United States on a drug-free platform to bench more than 400 pounds, which she has done more than 25 times. But in her first bench worlds in Hamburg, Germany, I was calling her numbers, and that was the meet. And let me tell you a little bit about her. Deb is not only a great power lifter and bench presser, but she's a great athlete in general. And so she brings that to the platform and a fierce attitude toward the platform. And so Deborah, in that meet, benched her first 300-pound bench press, and a first for any woman in USA powerlifting as well. And when she did that, She turned toward me after getting the good lift and with world-class sprinting speed ran and jumped on me, and we fell back through the curtain and tore the curtain down, and fortunately they didn't charge us for that. That's the kind of intensity you saw with Deborah Farrell every single time, though, which made her a great multiple-time world champion. Please give her a round of applause.
Cito, can you roll the film, please? So, Deborah, we want to say thank you, especially as a woman who has been encouraged to join USA Powerlifting in this amazing group of women who empower each other. Thank you for being a champion for women in powerlifting. And Larry will present you with your award.
I'm going to read the plaque since you guys can't obviously see it. Women's Hall of Fame class member of 2025, in recognition of your accomplishments as a powerlifter and support of drug-free powerlifting, USA Powerlifting presents this honor to athletes who have made the highest achievements in the sport of powerlifting at the national and international level. Congratulations.
Get a microphone. I just really want to, first of all, thank my parents because they have always supported me since I was young. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot I have to eat the microphone. But first of all, I wanted to really thank my parents because they supported me through everything. They encouraged me. Even when I was down, they didn't. And, they continue to encourage me. And then I want to thank Larry Maley. He is my first coach, the longest coach. And I tell you what, when I just didn't want to lift, Larry's like, you got to get in there and do it. I'm like, I'm tired. He's like, get in there and do it. And it was like my best lift always. And he always, like I said before, he always knew my limit. When I didn't think I could do it, he's like, I'm going to put it on there. And he's the only coach that listened to me that said, when I said, please don't tell me what I'm lifting. Just throw it on there and I can lift it. And so there's two things that my memories bring about Larry. One is he wasn't coaching me at the time. It's one of my last lifts. And someone was coaching me, and I kept telling them, please don't tell me what to do. And they were trying to tell me what to do. And Larry stood up and said, she said, don't tell her what to do. Here's what you need to do. And I got the lift in. It was like, that was one of the lifts where my training cycle didn't go well. I had only benched 360 during that training cycle, and I got to the competition. I'm like, just do whatever to get me a medal. And then in the end, he had him put on 418, and that was a world record at that time. So that was good. And then the other time that was kind of almost the same one, my first gold medal and world record in Luxembourg. Like I said, I wasn't feeling well. I was sick for 2 days. I went in, and the next day, I just felt strong for some reason. But after I didn't know what I was doing on my third attempt. I didn't know it was going to be a world record. I had no idea. And he said, just focus. I said, okay, I'll go out there and do it. And it was the first time, 396 pounds, I got done. And I saw the 3 white lights, and I looked at him, and I could just see terror on his face because he knew what was coming. And I just ran and jumped on him, and I was like, ah! So anyways, but he has always encouraged me from day one until the last day that I lifted. So thank you so much.
It's been an honor. She's very modest. Great athletes actually reflect on their coaches, and it was her and it's not me.
Thank you, Debit. Thank you for our previous Hall of Fame recipients who joined us up here as well. Dana Snow, Kathy Marksteiner, Johnny Graham, and Larry is also a part of our Hall of Fame. So thank you all for your contribution to women and the growth of females in powerlifting. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. We have one more thing to do before we wrap this up and we get to your awards. My 3-year term is up as Women's Committee Chair. Trust me, I have plenty to do. I will still continue to help support women in powerlifting. But I wanted to bring up your next Women's Committee Chair, Laura Sue. Can you please join me up here? There she is. Wanted you to put a name with a face. She will be your next Women's Committee Chair. Please make sure you tag us. We have an Instagram page, a Facebook page. Her new email address will be women@usapowerlifting.com. So if you have questions, need anything to know about the organization at all, please reach out to her, and she'll be willing to get you in contact with whatever information you need. But if you can give her a round of applause for joining us. Thank you so much for taking on this responsibility. All right, now on to awards.
Now, there are certain categories. Let me say this to the audience up front. There are certain categories that we are not announcing this morning because not all of the lifters have lifted. We have another afternoon session, and then we have prime time tonight. So the women's junior 70, masters 165, the masters 270, the Raw Open 65, the Women's Raw Open 70. We will not be announcing those winners today because there are other ladies in those categories that are going to be lifting this afternoon and the evening. We have to wait till everybody lifts so we can tally up the scores. But let's get to the categories that we can get to this morning. Our first category is the Women's Raw Junior 65-kilo weight class, top 5 lifters. In 5th place, Michelle Tran Bowie. In 4th place, Anna Hagirwara. Bronze medal, Adrian Gabbett. Silver medal, Ailey Benulos. And in 1st place, Stacy Ngo. Where's Stacy? Oh, there she is. Give these 5 ladies another round of applause. Give them another round of applause. Next category. Women's Raw Masters 1, 70-kilo weight class. In 5th place, Jennifer Marsh. Jennifer. In 4th place, Michelle Cania. The bronze medal, Lindsey Johnson. Silver medal, Krista Runyon. And in 1st place, Rachel Prados. We got Rachel or Krista? All right, we'll take what we got. Give these ladies another round of applause. Get up on the podium. Where was she? Number 1? Women's Raw Masters 2, 65-kilo weight class. In 1st place, Brenna Herridge. Come on, Brenna. Oh, here she comes. Women's Raw Masters 3, 65-kilo weight class, bronze medal, Claudia Bear. Silver medal, Tammy Remsburg. And in first place, Ann Davenport. Women's Raw Masters 3 70 kilo weight class. The silver medal, Donna Armando. And in first place, Deborah Mazzullo. Women's Raw Masters 4 65 kilo weight class. Silver medal, Lois Nadolny. And in first place, Susan Walter. 76 years young, Susan Walter. And she's got the coolest singlet and socks. Man, she's 76. She's hipper than all the kids. Look at that singlet. All right, let's continue on with the Masters 4. Women Masters 4. Raw Masters 4, 70 kilo weight class. The bronze medal, Celeste Burtges. And the silver medal, Eleanor Palmisano. And in first place, Lisa Stolniker. Yeah, give him another round of applause.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me just... Thank you, ladies. Give them one more round of applause. Hold your arms up again. Oh, man, who says that? They drank from the fountain of youth, these three. Okay, thank you, ladies. Now, don't forget, folks, remember I said not all weight classes are being called up today. We have to wait till everyone lifts. So don't come running up here and screaming at Jackie if she doesn't have your medals. You got to wait till this afternoon and or this evening till everybody in each weight class lifts so that all the lifters in each weight class have competed before we give out certain weight classes medals. With that, my co-announcer, Mike the Carnival Barker, is going to announce all the teen winners this morning. All the teen winners. Mike, take it over.
All right, so we're going to start off with the women's teen 1 65 kilo weight class. In first place, Gracie Marshall. All right, nice job, Gracie. Next, we're going to do the Teen 1 70 kilo weight class. In fourth place, Amika Paris. Amika in fourth place. In third place, Kiera Knapp. In second place, Ella Gerard. What's that? This is teen. No, okay. Amika was 4, and then Samantha Browning is 3. Because this is 70. Sorry, I messed up. And then in second place, this is teen 170 kilo, is Hannah Pollack. I confused the first. And then in first place is Hadassah Kozel. And once again, Amika Paris came in fourth place. If she's around, she's with Carly Skapensky somewhere from Buffalo. All right, thank you, ladies. All right, we're going to bring up the Teen 2 65 kilo weight class 4. In fourth place, Chloe Thompson. In third place, Kiera Knapp. In second place, Ella Gerard. And in first place, Iris Tyberg. Big round of applause for these ladies. Teen 2, 65 kilo weight class. Thank you, ladies. All right, we're going to do the Teen 2 70 kilo weight class. There's 3. In third place, Emma Mancina. In third place, Eleanor Stivers. Oh, second place. We're running on like 4 hours. In first place, Anna Barabo. Give these ladies one more big round of applause. Thank you, ladies. All right, the next division we're going to bring up is the Teen 3 65 kilo weight class. In first place, Haley Jane Tuplin. Give her a big round of applause. First place in the Teen 3 65 kilo weight class. Thank you, Haley Jane. All right, the Women's Raw Teen 3 70 kilo weight class. And first place, Helena Tyberg. Where's Helena?
Her sister's going to receive it on her behalf.
Very cool. Gino, when do we start the next session?
I have no idea. 12:30? 12:30. Got that right. All right, 12:30 is the next session.
Be sure to check out some of our sponsors, A7 and all the other sponsors over there. And if you're hungry, go to some of the food booths here at the convention center. And we'll be back 12:30.
Get access to world-class coaching in real time from anywhere. Whether in a small group setting or one-on-one, our coaches are in your ear during your training sessions, watching every rep and correcting every mistake.